Got about 1 more minute. We will go ahead and start the stream.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all put y'all Duvals in the chat, man. Sir. All right, Duval, you know what time it is.
Yeah. You know it? Free birds! Yeah. Going all the way, all the way. Watch how these pieces get moving like Hasbro. You know ain't no con in these raps, so I'm trying to be calm when it come to the cash flow. You know talking till I die from the city we ride, no matter the outcome. You know when you out, watch your mouth in the jungle, a lot of them never escape from. Agent J when I bait some, 28 in my bag like I'm Freddie T. Agent K when I'm holding the city down, blocking all of the haters like Tony B. It's our year every year, if you quoting me, we gon' see on the field. They know the county, I scream it wherever I go. When I bleed, I just see black and teal. Feel like Brunel when the place is in action. Every line that I flow always solid, that mean I ain't worried about pockets collapsing. He may go all the way, running the X's and O's, gotta love how it happens. You ain't part of the gang, I ain't gotta explain why we ain't got no room on the wagon. MIT is the army, the navy, the greatest is Jimmy and Keenan, the ultimate package. Ooh, never can care how you feel. You are now in the mix with the men and teal. Nothing but facts inside these conversations. Keep it 100, the law of the nation. With all the smoke, we can meet at the bank. You know the location. Executing the play when the ball cross the plane, that's the game. Hit my little celebration. Then all I can hear is them saying, yeah. Then all I can hear is them saying, yeah. All I can hear is them saying, ooh. You know it? Yeah. Free birds.
Welcome to the Men and Teal podcast. I am your host, Agent J, and as always, rocking with my main man, J to the I to the M-B-O.
Oh, And
You are now in the mix with the man and Teal.
And special guest from the Duval Dive,
Yes,
Big Cat Country, Mr. Travis D. Holmes.
Let's get that man.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, let's get our guest.
Thank you guys for having me. I felt like why not just pull up a seat, make this my second home. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah,
more
man.
than welcome, brother.
Mi casa es su casa, man. Clap it up for Travis for me.
The podcast is su podcast. Now, I mean, I should have these things labeled, but there we go. I ain't want to give you the womps, man.
Oh, the laugh. Oh man. Oh, the title. The first part. Sad it's over. Sad it's over, man. Ugh. But we're gonna be here to talk about it. We're gonna be here.
It absolutely feels like they should still be playing, man.
Yeah,
and it's wild. And it's wild to be at this spot that we're in right now because Jaguar fans are just 1 year removed from not being in the playoffs for a few years and just being ready to talk about draft. And now I'm pissed off that I'm talking about draft season. Like that's exactly the weird spot to be in, man.
Yeah. I actually just saw this on Twitter. I want to pull this up real quick. While I'm doing that, though, shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody for joining us tonight, man. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, man. We appreciate everybody for joining us, hanging out with us, even after a loss that means that there is no Jaguar football coming up this week. But we appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Yo, do us that favor. If you made it, if you came into the room, man, hit that like, hit that follow, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Get this out to other Jaguar fans because you already know we keep it real, we keep it teal. Through the comments real quick. Topa, shout out Topa, always in the building. Looks like the staff is going to focus on defense this offseason. It's about time. Maybe. Devin in the chat. MIT fam, salute to your podcast this season. If it wasn't for our stubborn coach, we might have another week. Ooh. We're gonna talk about it.
You gotta talk about it.
Oh my God. Michael in the chat. What a good season to be a Jaguar fan. Duval. Duval T in the chat. The future is bright in the 904 Northeast Florida. And he comes back with a Duval. Let's go, man. All right, guys. So, Travis, you just said something about just being a couple years removed from the playoffs. Obviously in 22, we had the deeper playoff run. I think we can all agree, though, that this by far was a better season leading up to the playoff. Other than 22 was exciting, but we were the comeback kids in 22. In 2025, it seemed like we just handled people. We controlled it. It was no coming back. It was not. This is ours. This is ours, and we're here to take what's ours.
That's funny because you depend on your perspective, and I guess that's what makes this season so different than 2022. Because 2022, to your point, was the comeback situation where you started off struggling. The whole, the first half of the season, and then you just kind of close strong at the end of the year. Now they did still close strong this year. I mean, obviously, but the hardest part of their schedule walking into it, as far as expectations were concerned, was everybody and their mama. Let's be real about this. All thought, all right, man, if we can just win 2 of these, maybe 3 of these first 7 games, I'll be all right with this. Nobody wasn't thinking these boys are gonna be like 4-1, and like that was not on the radar. Opening the season. So the fact that happened was like, all right, I guess expectations changed a little bit. So that made this such a strong season. 13 wins in comparison to, I believe that 2022 was a 10-win season. 9? Dang.
9 and 8.
I'm thinking 2017.
2017 was the last time we had a double digit.
That was 10
season. Yep.
But yeah, this is stronger. This is much stronger.
Yeah. I want. Part of me wants to say this was even better than 17, but it's because you didn't get out of the wild card round.
Yeah, but I think
the regular season, even the regular season.
Look, you talk about maybe because Jimbo, you was experiencing this one in person. That 2017, like, bro, that defense. When I tell you, just bro, going to them games every however many weeks. Knowing that defense is not about to give up a whole bunch of nothing, and that they gonna get the ball, and that they probably gonna score, and that the referees is gonna take away a defensive touchdown, and we still gonna end up getting another defensive touchdown. Like that was cool. The real Saxonville, that shit was insane, bro. Like I said, watching them go up to Pittsburgh twice and beat them like that, bro. That was a special season. Like you talk about winning in spite of the quarterback. Like, bro, if Blake Bortles, if I put it like this, Trevor Lawrence on that team, undefeated.
Yeah,
that's how good. That's
how
good that team is. That's how good that team was. That's how good that defense was. He could have got it done. Blake Bortles
Houston Texans. Houston Texans defense is what you're saying.
Better.
Yeah.
Bro, Jalen Ramsey. I feel you on all that. I know Derek Stingley, all the people good. Bro, Jalen Ramsey. Hey, young, hungry Jalen Ramsey, Calais Campbell, and bro, he made all pro at 2 different positions.
Yeah,
this shit was insane over there, dog.
Yeah,
Punk was his last year. Oh yeah, man, come on, hey.
So but also the night and day, right? So yes, 2017, 22, and now 25 all feel different. Like you said, you experienced 17 in person. I experienced from afar, mostly on TV. But I was here in 22, and 22 was electric. But I don't know, man. I feel like just season wise, I can't argue the 17 thing, but season wise, this was magical. This is up there.
This is the most complete team we've had. And like I said, even in 22, we won. I feel like we was winning in spite of coaching. Like, I don't know, bro. I just don't fuck with Doug Peterson.
So you say this is the most complete team we've had in modern Jack? Like, are you talking about since like Dave Caldwell? Is that what we're talking?
I'm talking about since 2017. I mean, honestly, since probably 05, it might be the most complete team since back then.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's been terrible. Yeah, 99 and 2004, like those are really good teams, but not all time, but yes, recent memory.
I'm making sure.
Shit.
No, you
froze
on us.
But 20
I
years.
wanted to confirm. That's all.
Yeah, but in the last 20 years. Just the most complete team in the last 20 years.
Yeah, no,
that's the weirdest part about this is because I can tell you from 5 different ways this team is being like I can name multiple ways that this team is incomplete and that these guys are just coaching the hell out of they are Elmer's glue and duct taping and stapling this thing together to make it work with some coaching moves. But
that lets you know how important coaching is. And extracting even what you're getting from right here, because like I said, I don't know. Like I've been to a lot of Jaguar games. I haven't seen a lot of talent on the field. I've seen a lot of hopeful talent, but I ain't seen a lot of motherfuckers just do nothing. It just it sucks. But
let me say it this way, and I'm gonna say it in the best way I can without trying to like diminish or demean anybody that previously coached and worked here. I think if you have this exact coaching staff coaching that 2017 team, they win a Super Bowl, and I don't think it's close. And I'm saying because these guys, what they're doing on the field is much more complex, much more involved. And then you add the talent that those rosters had, that roster had in that 2017 season. And I think that's where I'm a little different because I think this current Jacksonville Jaguars team is absolutely incomplete in multiple position groups. And it's not to say 2017 wasn't. I mean, obviously quarterback, big thing.
The offense was bad too. We didn't have no receivers.
But they did enough. Like
Allen Robinson tore his ACL in the first game in the first quarter of the season.
I mean, Allen Hurns, Keelan Cole. I mean, they had some splashes. They weren't
I'm
great.
just saying those names that you said, we ain't never heard from none of them.
No. But so you're not wrong. It's to say, going into this season, you probably would put someone like a Keelan Cole on the same level as Parker Washington. Let's keep it above. They were very similar in that way.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, because I watched. Because I knew when Parker Washington got drafted here, I knew what he was. He was the Christian Kirk. He was the Christian Kirk clone copy.
Clone, sure.
It's supposed to be his replacement. The same thing with
Brent Strange.
I saw what those guys. I saw what those guys were while they were brought in, and we saw them flash when they were younger players. So yeah, I would have thought that some of them were better. And my family's from Pennsylvania, so I watched Penn State.
So you were already higher on him. I'm thinking about someone maybe outside that don't have a dog in the fight.
You're saying in general. You're saying in general.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not wrong, because you see all the pundits. I mean, they don't be knowing nothing about the Jaguars, but they're like, this Parker Washington kid, So yes, in that aspect, you are definitely right. But watching them, I would. But like I said, that team, I don't know. But I feel like this in 2017 and. In my opinion, but look, this also might be a stupid question and why I don't have credentials, because I would say this year in 2017 pretty much ended the same way, outside of even outside of what the referees did. I would say we got away from what was our bread and butter in that game. We didn't throw one screen to Corey Grant in the second half of that game. We actually took the ball out. We started running the ball and took the ball out of Blake Bortles' hands.
And then he had a hot hand too at the time.
But what we saw on Sunday was we had a whole bunch of rushing yards, and they couldn't stop us. It didn't matter what they tried to do to stop us from running the ball, and we didn't run the ball and put it in the quarterback's hands. Now, granted, quarterback took us down to go lead the game twice in the fourth quarter, but at the same time, maybe it was a little too fast. It's a lot of so it's similarities, but I quarterback, even just quarterback alone, better talent. Our receivers are better talent. I'll say our running back room is a better talent in running back room. Leonard Fournette might be the better back out of everybody that we throw them all together. I think Leonard Fournette's the better back.
Yes.
But I think that's the only thing on offense that we get that
O-line.
I mean, they never really pass protected well. To me,
they had Blake Bortles, and it was all play action at that point. It was just they were dominant in run blocking, and they didn't have to do a lot of straight back passing.
Yeah, and shout out to Leonard Fournette. And like I said, we didn't Blake, because like if that would have been Blake's 3,500 or 4,035 touchdown year with that, there would be nothing that I could say. Because I
can agree with that.
But it was just the style. It was the style of play. We were playing great defense, and we were running the ball, and they were game managing Blake Bortles, which is what he should have been doing, is game managing. Just make it simple, and if we have shots outside, he still could take some shots outside. But like I said, I can't even really tell you who the other receivers on that team. It was bad. Like I said, Keelan Cole, but that was Lucky
Marquise Lee. Aurelius Ben,
a whole bunch of Reggie,
Jalen Strong.
Yeah, come on.
Jadon Nickens might have been on that team.
Man, shout out to the special team. Our special teams, special teams was good.
But I thought the O line, but the foundationally, I thought they were better than this current iteration of the Jaguars. And the foundations is why that on Wednesday we talked about on the Duval Dive on that it was some of those foundational things that ended up biting Jacksonville in the butt on Sunday, even against the Bills. Like some of those personnel decisions, you can see on the film exactly why Campanelli called the game in certain ways, or you could see why they need to and maybe invest in one more offensive lineman. Like there were just a few things where I'm just like, all right, it finally caught up to them, but also they didn't call the game in the ways that they probably should have, to your earlier point, because damn, I mean, you averaging 10 yards a carry in the first half. Yeah. And you don't rush 20 and you don't run Travis Etienne and Bashaw Tootin 20 times. That's wow.
20, 35, man. I'm thinking. I'm
saying you don't even reach 20.
You don't even get it. But in my mind, at the game, I'm thinking, okay, we should probably get about 30 carries out of these boys because
they were 2-1. They were just under 2-1, or I guess over technically because they only had 14 rushing attempts, and Trevor threw the ball 30 times. You know what I'm saying? But you pretty much 2-1. You threw the ball where you were dominating on the ground. But real quick, so looking at numbers from now, look, I really don't like PFF, but I know where they get these numbers from, so I'm okay. But the grade of the team from 2024 to 2025, we went from 24th to 7th. In defensive grade, we went from 26th to 9th. Trevor Lawrence went from the 18th grade quarterback to the 8th. And obviously, we know we went from a 4-13 record to a 13-4. Complete turnaround. I like what you said about this coaching staff on 17. My only question to you is, do you think the personalities that we had on defense, the unique Ngakwe's, which Jay and I had a in-depth conversation about, you know, he's not a team guy. He's not a team first guy. Jalen Ramsey, we know Jalen can be what's the
higher
word? Spicy.
Yeah, well, he could be a lot of things. I think what happens when you're on a team,
zesty.
But the thing is, you kind of do need a little bit of that on your team. You probably don't want a whole bunch of that. But
that was a whole bunch of that on that team.
Yeah, but guess what? You got the best defense pretty much that we've ever had out there.
Yep.
Because of a lot of that, and I think you do need a little bit of it. And you got to have, I think, maybe even a tiny bit of contention in the locker room.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because now people start, you know, maybe a little bit of pointing, but it's still a little bit of accountability starts to get being held too. So. So I don't know.
They are when you have that kind of an attitude, when you have that kind of a personality in the locker room, you have a lot more self-policing going on. Whereas the coach doesn't need to necessarily set the culture because we don't set the damn culture ourselves. Yeah. Like that changes it a little bit. So I do understand that.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
There's a risk of having some issues with the culture if you have that personality. But if you got him on a rookie contract, you ain't got to worry about paying them for a year or two. Then for that 2-year time frame, it's gonna be heaven until that money start coming into the conversation. You'll probably be all right.
And what I would say for that 2017 team, a lot of that contention, a lot of that, you got to remember, it was a lot of losing right before that. So
it came from Bortles. It started with Bortles getting paid and them not going Lamar and them seeing what Lamar was, and then everybody was like, "Oh no, y'all ain't serious about this." And then you have the disrespect that added.
I was talking about going into 2017, just how that defense, that's how they was playing because even before anybody got paid, it was just a whole bunch of damn losing before. And like I said, I remember Jalen Ramsey was out there crying his rookie year. I remember St. Louis sitting on the bench, boo-hooing. I was like, oh, yeah. I said, oh, he feeling it. I said, and guess what? And I said, I appreciate it. And people were like, man, he saw no. I said, that's who I want to be on my team right there because that means something to him that he just lost. And this motherfucker's walking around here still smiling and joking. And that's not okay with me. We just got blown out. How is anybody having a good time right now? Everybody should be on the sideline. It should be like a Pop Warner game, like they lost the championship when you get beat like that.
I mean, if you feel like that's the question of whether or not so for some guys it's a job, for other guys it's a life, like it's something that's truly at heart. You know what I mean? Like so, if I lost a game when I was growing up, just PAL, just Pop Warner, just high school, whatever else, yeah, man, I'm pissed off the whole week. I'm crying. I'm teary eyed, depending on how big the game is. You know what I mean? Like I got pictures of myself in college after we lost a game, and my mom was just consoling me on the sideline, like I'm there. So but it also, if you are in the league, it's just like, hey man, for some people it's a job and this is about making this money and making a future for my family. And for other people it's life and death. And that's the difference between good and great sometimes though.
Right. Michael makes a good point. He says this team was more complete. 2017 team, the defense thought they were only winning because of the defense. thought they were only winning because of the defense. This team at least seemed to be more of a team.
Yeah,
like
bro. That's
all three phasing.
The 2025 Houston Texans, the 2017 Jacksonville Jaguars.
I mean, I think that's actually very accurate for the 2017 Jaguars are the Texans, because that Texans defense is pretty elite, and that Jaguars defense was elite. And that's the thing. I didn't think anything the Jaguars had where I would say this is elite. Where I could say that for the Jaguars in 2017, that defense, like, oh no, that is an elite unit, not a good unit, not a great unit, an elite unit. And I can't say that for this group, but that doesn't mean they're bad. It just means we're talking top of the line.
Look, and even maybe complete might not be the right word. I would definitely the most complimentary football.
Sure.
If maybe that's a better word for it.
Yeah,
because we wouldn't score when they went and got the ball back this year. Like they gave us extra possessions. We typically wouldn't go and put some points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, we were the
margin was
either second. We were the second. We were top 3 in scoring defense.
Yeah,
like when they got the ball back, we would score points off turnovers.
Oh, you mean points off turnovers?
Yeah, off turnovers.
Yeah, points off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, no. We were first. We were first. No, the Jaguars were first at 96 points.
Okay. Yeah,
I just put that in an article like last week. Late last week.
Okay. So. Yeah. So Duval T agrees with us. They should have kept running the ball. But listen, I know it's sad, but they released the sounds of the game, y'all. You already know. You already know what we got to do. We got to, man. One more. It's the last one of the season.
Yeah.
Heartbreaker to the Bills. 27-24, lost at home. Let's see it.
How mad I am when I had to miss this game.
Oh, damn, you were
down here?
I couldn't come down. I had a conflict. I had to be in Tampa.
And we welcome you to Everbank Stadium.
I didn't make that schedule.
House in another home game, but a different home game, a playoff game. Today, Jeff Lagerman, the stakes have changed.
Yeah, definitely. The Jaguars have had a
not gonna lie, bro.
It
hurt being there in person
today, but this is truly
at the end.
why we play the game.
I also expected there to be a second game
to chase greatness and immortality because people remember champions.
I mean, I think that was a
football team playing as good
that was a
as anybody
rightful
right now,
expectation.
So let's go.
Hey, I'm
I
super grateful to be here. And it's been a blast playing with you guys. Pouring all out for the guy next to me. He's gonna do the same, all right?
Today's just another day to do what we've been doing all year. We ain't got to do different, man. We are built for this moment.
It's about how we got here. It's about what we've been doing, dog. Ain't do nothing more than we've been doing, bro. It's simple, bro. As soon as you want to feel, everybody knows. Big games about the little things.
Salute to you too,
Big
sir.
games about the little things. The things that got us here, bro. Everybody together, huh?
All we got to do is be us, man. That's it. All you got to do is be you.
Duval T said this is sad. It made me cry.
Don't
say that, dog.
Unbelievable atmosphere. It's always about us.
At least we know you care.
Looking at the sideline, the energy is exactly the same as it's been for all the regular season games. A lot of confidence, a lot of hugging, a lot of exchange between players. They are ready to go. Also, I heard a lot about Bills Mafia coming over and taking over.
He did.
Too much teal in the stands. A lot of white towels. It is a teal takeover.
We'll never give him that respect. He's not a pass rusher.
This place is packed in here. Those white towels are going everywhere. It is playoff football on the First Coast. He puts a foot to it, and we are underway. Second down, 2 left, 2 right, shotgun for Trevor, 4-man front. Dropping is Trevor.
This is a pick right here.
That ball is going to be picked off. It's
It
picked
was
off
never
in the middle
there.
of the field.
That play was never there.
Inside the
I know Trev said he was
35-yard
late.
line. That's the linebacker,
That
Zach
read was
Thompson.
never there. That should have been a check down the entire way. We talked about it on this week's. We rewound it like 4 times.
Veteran Matt Prater.
They really
There's
took
the
away
snap.
the middle of the field.
Field goal
They
is up. And the 50-yard
feel like
field goal is good.
Because, bro, that's one
I feel like they went back to the. I don't know about y'all, but it really felt like it was back at the Cardinals game for me. Like how remember the Cardinals were just taking away the middle, and
they didn't call defense. They didn't call defenses to take away the middle. They sat on routes and jump routes and didn't respect the Jaguars' ability to go deep, and they never threatened them to make you regret that.
Yeah, he had Jimbo the whole time.
He had a convoy there. Matt Milano made the tackle, but it's 20 yards to the 30-yard.
Because BTJ played his way out of the fucking progression. They don't even.
He was open. He was open a lot
it's not
too.
Even a shot that
it was
that
just
ball
dummy
going
route.
over.
It's like they might as well just been dummy
and
routes.
I can't even really. I mean, I can be mad, but I can't even really be mad because I can't even trust that you gonna catch it.
It's a weird situation because even Strange didn't get in there the deep shots like when you got him on a one-on-one against a linebacker. And I'm not saying he has to be this huge burner, but he's a very good contested catch.
He's a great athlete. He can shield you.
Parker didn't get any deep contested catch opportunities other than the halftime when you ain't got much of a choice. Like that's about it. Like they just didn't run a double move.
They were taking the top away.
Coach got tense. Like I said, I just think he got a little tense in the play calling. Like I think he should have just. It's your first playoff game. You gotta open that thing. I think you gotta do the same thing you've been doing. You gotta open that thing up. You can't play conservative. You can't just even though you can't.
He did though.
I think us throwing the ball. I think was conservative because I think we should just
call it. Call it conservative when the play has a deep route. If the ball is not thrown to the deep receiver, that's not conservative play calling. And that's not me throwing shade at Trev, but that's conservative quarterbacking. That's not equal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know you say
I can point to 5 plays that I just looked at on Wednesday that talking about because we actually talked more about the fact that it was a very complicated defense that was trying to show you one thing before the snap and a whole different picture after the snap. But looking at those routes, most of them have a deep option. And to your original point, he's not early in the progression. Right, that's a piece of that. But there's a guy who's going deep. If you really want to take that deep shot, that's just a choice at that point. That's
I think he. To me, I think I agree with what you said because I think that's something that you can work on. Like, hey, I mean, it has to be. You're going to probably throw some interceptions doing that too, though. Like because you would have to. Because honestly, you would just have to just say after progression. I see BTJ. They're pressing him at the line. I just gotta trust it, and I just gotta put it up the sideline and hope he go get it. Which
you gotta give him 3. You gotta give him 3 a game. 3 a game just to back them off.
Yeah. So I would say definitely on the quarterback. But I just think, like I said, progression wise, I think even though he's been, like I said, I think it's hard to justify him being the first, second read based on just how he's played all year. So it's just I think he played himself into that progression and. Trevor, you still got to just say F it and bomb it. Because
I just want to say this.
Oh my God, BTJ. And we see it as soon as they come out the huddle. I'm like, oh, they press it. Yeah. He cooked. And he was cooked every time.
But they also did shade. They also did shade of safety. Even when they ran like cover 1 lurk or cover 1 robber often, they would still shade the safety towards BTJ's side. Like, so they gave him the respect. I will acknowledge that. Like, it really should have been Brenton Strange down the sideline or Brenton Strange deep or Parker Washington deep. Like, that was your route. That was your option, maybe on double moves because they was just sitting on everything 15 yards and up in that way. Like, even the safeties. And I thought that was that was my biggest takeaway anyways.
Like I said, I didn't think the Bills did anything, like I said, super crazy, great, but like I said, you said they were disguising. They were disguising.
They did. It was a clinic. It was a clinic on both defenses. Anthony Campanelli and Sean McDermott. It was a clinic. And if I had the time, I swear to you, if I didn't have to write and do if I didn't have to do both the podcast and writing, I would have absolutely done a 2-hour breakdown just talking about these two defenses because it really was that. No, I would never demean that.
But I also think that because on my watch back, I didn't realize how much people were like getting back there to Trevor. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously Walker Little, and they were helping Walker too.
But I don't ever, bro. I don't ever. I feel you, Jimbo. I know you're saying something. I don't ever want to see Walker Little in a Jacksonville Jaguar jersey helmet.
I'm cool with that. I'm I'm just saying the pressures.
You got to turn into compression shorts.
Listen,
bro, I'm tired of him, bro.
Listen, bro. Listen, and then we'll get back to the sounds of the game. But listen, man, the stunts, and our running backs were picking them up, but bro, got killed on one. I mean, bro, they twisted up McCarry like 3 times on stunts. It's just. I think they brought with the front 4 pressure, because a lot of it was front 4 pressure. That's it. And then with the disguise cover, I just think Trevor went into his bag of, okay, let me go to the things that I know work. And the problem is that Buffalo said, hey, we're going to take away the things that work for Trevor Lawrence.
Correct. You basically said it, and they bet on Trevor Lawrence not staying patient enough to continue taking checkdowns, to bet on the Jaguars not being disciplined enough to continue running screens and quick slants and all those things that we simply have not seen them run much of the second half of this year. Those were the ways to beat that Buffalo defense, because they didn't do anything special in that way either. They didn't have the man-on-man athletes to match up with the Jaguars either in that way, but they did because the Jaguars made it easy due to personnel.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and also, remember, we're the least disciplined team in the league. I would say we're the least disciplined team in the league. And
well, not on Sunday. It was Walker Little, and that was it. No other penalties.
I'm talking about just.
They didn't accept the pass interference, but Jarian did get the
accepted penalties.
Yeah. But which is something that we're going to get into later.
Yeah, but we talking about. We just say something about the tape. But I mean, look, they believed that the Jaguars doing Jaguar things, which is playing. We played well, but we still played undisciplined. Like I said, the penalties weren't there, but we got blown stuff. We got blown things. We got offensive line. We got poor offensive line play. We had it was just a lot. It was just a lot.
Couple
of drop balls. Be honest. I want to be very clear. Everything that the Jaguars had as an issue, the Bills had. The Jaguars simply ain't making pay.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, the busted coverages. I can show you on film 4 busted coverages for Buffalo where Jaguars simply didn't make them pay. Parker Washington 3rd down play. I was talking to Gus Logue about this yesterday. On Wednesday, the day of the presser. The Parker Washington's 3rd down incompletion, busted coverage from Buffalo. Safety never even gets back. Mm-hmm. He literally can run straight to the touchdown. Nobody home. And it's just one of those things that happened that Trevor Lawrence identified it. Parker Washington doesn't figure it out. That's why he throws the ball backwards behind him. He's hoping he sits down or he just keeps going down the seam. And they just on different pages. So like those things happened. Jaguars didn't capitalize. And it sucks. If they play that game 10 times, Jaguars probably win 6 at least.
Yeah.
Just that one there Sunday.
Yeah. Let's get back to the sounds, bro.
Line of the Buffalo Bills. They run it in with 2. Starts left, middle of the field. He's got running room, lowered his shoulder. Got it inside the 20-yard line. That's the rookie base show too. He's got it to the 17-yard line. Jordan paid the tackle.
And I think we kind of hit on it too. The left side to the 10-yard defensive strengths really showed from both teams.
He got it to the 5-yard line. 13 more yards.
We stopped the run. They were sticky against the pass.
Jags trying to knock it in here. Shotgun for Trevor. Dropping. Look at the throw. Looking, fires left side, ball's going to be
that was a good one.
Caught for the touchdown.
That was a good
Brian Thomas Jr. and the Jags are in the end zone. Jacksonville has taken the lead.
Bro, all 22 of that is so clean.
Great job, man. Great job. That's a great spot. Great job before we squeeze it in there. Good work.
How about that? And you want to talk talk about strong hands. Brian Thomas Jr. makes a strong catch with Tre'Davious White, the defensive back, on his back. That's outstanding.
Hardball to the Giants.
Cam Little kicks it off.
Anything to keep him out of there.
This thing.
Bro, I'm so glad he didn't go to Tennessee.
To the 10 to the
Oh
15,
my
20
God.
yard line. Runs to the middle of the field. He's got all kind of room now.
Wentz.
The Jags have the ball. The ball came out, and everybody's trying to jump on top of this. Let's see who's got it. Jacksonville's football.
Devin Lloyd's
Like
got the
a
ball.
missile.
So that's a big-time
Look at
hit
LaQuint.
by the running back LaQuint Allen Jr., who has been a special
He's been
team
popping
star
people all year, bro.
He's a violent dude. He's a violent dude.
He's a violent dude.
He's violent, man. He's violent.
So here come the Jags after the timeout.
Get no
They're
points
gonna
out
go
of
for it
that.
here. 4th and 2 from the 9-yard line of Buffalo.
Bro,
It's an inside,
I think-
Trevor Kemp on his own read. He
Now-
takes me out.
Now,
He
bro,
goes
you was
to the
with me
7-yard
at the
line. They're
Bengals
very
game.
close.
Did he die
When we went
too
for it on
soon?
that
It's
fourth
gonna be
down,
close when they see the mark
even
here.
back then I
As far as
said
virtual
we should kick
measurements.
it. We should kick this field goal.
However,
I think the biggest difference in this game, outside of what the score ended up
They don't know
being,
what they're waiting for.
the Buffalo Bills got 3 points off of a turnover, and we got 0.
And if you want to call turnover on downs a turnover, I do. This has been an argument for me and Nash for a few months. I call turnovers on downs turnovers. And they won 10 to 0. That's the case.
Got it to the
No points off
8-yard
turnover.
line of Jacksonville. He runs it forward, lowers his shoulder, touchdown.
Look at that, bro.
We personally, bro, we lost 3 games this year because of coaches. Like, yeah, man.
3-yard line, no timeouts, and Jesse
The Jaguars average.
You can't just run it out here
Again, they lead the league in points off
Now you got
turnover.
to keep possession
So
here
they
and get a first
beat
down
teams
at
basically
least.
6-0 every game on points off turnovers on average. And they lost this
fires
game.
it deep
That's the difference in the
downfield.
game right there by itself.
Caught by Parker Washington. You gotta get up. You gotta get up in a hurry. Can you get lined up?
See now,
5
see now,
seconds? 4
how
seconds.
come that wasn't
You
a
line up
flag?
quickly. Trevor's gonna spike the
Good
ball,
game.
but a flag came in.
That might be
Well, because
defensive
when he
offsides,
tackled
which will give you
him, when he
a
tackled him,
one
he was
snap.
still on his back.
On the field is that the offense
And he had it
did
wrapped
get
up.
set,
It
and
did-
there was
so,
offside by the defense.
You know, Josh Hines Allen did that.
1 second.
What game
Well,
was
no,
that?
no. When Josh Hines Allen did it, Josh Hines Allen got halfway up and then laid back down.
And they laid
That was a
back
little
down.
different.
You right.
Yeah, they caught him on the second. That was
The
different.
54-yard field goal is no good. He just missed it by about
Yeah,
a yard
man.
to the
The field goal
left.
looks a lot better, man, if you get a little practice.
10-7
You get a
Bills
practice 37. Damn, coach.
And they went from being able to have a balance where you have a 10-10 game, a 0-0 game,
The Bills had a lead.
to
the
you
Jaguars
chasing.
struck back, took a 7-3
And
lead.
that was the
and then
difference. That
looked
3
like they
points,
might extend
the
that,
field
but they turned
goal,
it over
and
on
well,
downs
6 points really. The
inside
field goal
10-yard
and
I was about to say,
line.
we should have had
Field,
the
they
should have had the
take a
lead going in the
10-7 lead.
half.
Yeah, really surprising.
And then you're not
and the
chasing.
Buffalo
And then you're
Bills, I
making
think,
you're making Josh
maintain the
Allen
momentum in
chase.
this ball game.
And maybe
The
you'll
Jaguars
actually
need to
try to be
find a way to
Superman,
get
and
it
that was
back.
just
This
right.
game's
The
gonna
Bills
come
stuck
down
with
to
the
the end, and
pocket
Lynn
at that
Cone
point.
has done such a great
Worst
job
version
with
of Josh
messaging.
Allen we could have
I believe
faced,
they're gonna
game
calm down
manager
here in the
Josh
second
Allen.
half and play well.
Because he never felt threatened. Because he had the lead the whole time. He could just lean on the run, even if it wasn't working, or just keep throwing these little 1-yard passes all day.
Hey, Eric Armstead was all. Yeah, he look.
First down now.
He posted that
From their
search
own
on
37
Instagram,
for
and then his
Buffalo.
ass
Shotgun
fucking was
for Josh
quiet
Allen.
as hell
Play fake.
on Sunday.
Pump fake. Looking.
I mean,
Fires
Armstead's
it
been
to the
quiet
middle
for
of
a
the
few
field, and
weeks.
that's Shakir again.
I
Wide
know,
open.
but
He's been quiet since he was quiet since his injury.
yeah, let him tell it because he got
47-yard
he got
field
8
goal
sacks. Oh wow,
is good.
Yay.
Did you say 8?
That's what he said.
He got
That's
5
what
and a
he
half.
He got like 5.
Throw at him.
He got 5.5 sacks.
Fires left side. Caught
He's
Parker
had that
Washington.
since
Broke a
before his
tackle.
injury.
45-yard line along the left sideline. That'll be a first down. He tossed it to the right to Travis Etienne. Got it into Bills territory. 45-yard line. Still on his feet. Inside the 40. Broke a tackle. Got it inside the 30-yard line. That is terrific running by Travis Etienne. This will be a 43-yarder from the right hash. There's the hold. Cam kicks
My
it up.
daughter loved that.
The 43-yard field goal is good, and it is a 13-10 game with 5:47 to play in the third quarter.
Morris
Oh, we got
fighting
a
his
good one
former
here in the
teammates.
first day of the playoffs. Looking. Try to get him. They're going to sack
Oh,
him.
my
They
bad.
got him on the ground that
Most
time.
playoff
Josh
defensive
Hines
sacks.
got Josh Allen down around the 20-yard line. Biggest defensive play of the day for Jacksonville.
Yeah, bro. I'm tired of what you said too.
Good job. Now here come the Jags. Maybe a little bit of momentum. Great stop by the defense after the offense kicked a field goal. 3rd down and 4 from your own 44. Boy, this is a big play.
I thought McCarr should have came out the game, man.
Trevor fires downfield.
Thought it was that bad.
That ball is going to be caught by
I just thought he was hurt.
Jr. 18 yards.
I just thought he was hurt, man.
A run set for sure.
He
Play
was.
fake
I mean, he
instead.
ended up
Trevor
leaving the game,
fires
didn't he?
downfield. That
No,
ball is going to be caught
came
by
back.
Parker Washington.
Well, I'm saying he didn't stay out of the game, but he left the game with the injury.
Trevor
Yeah.
looking, still
Same
looking.
injury,
Now
right?
fires toward the back of the
The
end
back
zone.
injury.
Yeah, he came back to try to finish the game
That
up.
ball's
Yeah.
going to be caught. Touchdown back in the end zone. Parker Washington.
That's a
Trevor
laser.
stuck it in there. Parker caught it for the score. How good is that?
Hell of a catch, but the Trevor be throwing that bitch hard. He be putting.
I told you. It's your
Yeah.
Oh, man, you want to talk about a tough catch and a BB by the quarterback. Christian Benford is hanging over the back of Parker Washington.
Didn't we
Daryl
all?
said I
Daryl?
thought Tua was about to have a $150.
Didn't we all?
Fires
That
toward
boy
the
got
goal line.
51 yards on one
And
drive.
that's going to be a touchdown.
The Buffalo fans felt like the Buffalo fans feel like the refereeing was bad. Like,
Well, the referees were bad, but the referees is bad for everybody.
Yeah.
The referees had bad spots on like everything that was reasonably close to the Jags.
Yeah, but it was bad spots to the good for the Bills and bad spots to the bad for us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was bad for us there, but then they won't look at the penalties and say, well, Buffalo had more penalties, so obviously the refs were bad. Like, everybody thinks the refs are bad, but for different reasons.
31 yards and a first down.
and they should have called more penalties.
Trevor rolling to the right, looking.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of questionable things that happened in this game.
Just a bad refereeing group. Like, when we do that going into the game, Brad
How good is that?
Yeah, because they're about to show. I thought it was illegal to pick the player up.
Trevor throws it over
And
the
just
hands of
push it forward for a
Russo,
while.
and a great job of
I
finishing
thought
it
it
for
was
a
illegal
touchdown
to
by
pull. I
ETN.
thought it was illegal to pull them forward. I don't know if it's illegal to push them forward.
No, it's not pushing them. You can't pick up your player. You can't do that.
Anthony Campanelli trying to get everone to focus on
It's
the
a
execution.
very specific
Fourth
rule.
quarter, it's
Let me
about
say it that way. I
execution,
read it
effort, and
this
toughness.
past week
Let's see
because
if we can
somebody
get it
else
done.
had
Quarterback
arguing
sneak
the
look
same
for
thing.
Allen. He's
But
into the end zone touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown.
I would have to
run.
read the rule. Maybe I'll find out while we're still watching this. But
Trevor brings them out. Here we go.
it's a
Buffalo
nuanced argument, I
27,
guess.
Jacksonville 24. A field goal from Cam Little would tie the ball game and send it into overtime. Dropping is Trevor. Looking. Fires it deep downfield. That ball's tipped. It is intercepted.
That was. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's pass interference.
Cole Bishop picks
That's
off
pass
the
interference, bro. He's on his back the whole
and the
fucking
Buffalo
time.
Bills are going to take a knee twice
call
and win
it.
the ball game.
It is. I know, bro. But here's the
call
thing. Here's the thing, because Jay said that, or somebody said that to us. It might not have been Jay, but somebody said that to us. But they did call pass interference. They called it on us. They just didn't accept it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Obviously, not the way we wanted.
It is what it is, bro. Like I said, they were the better team because they just expected us to do what we do and played us for it.
That's just the reality. So, frustrating, hard one. But, man, I can't be more proud of the group that I've ever worked with.
So with that, it's my privilege to introduce to you Liam Cohen.
Shad, you just made a dream absolutely come true. And we're going to work our tails off. Championships to Jacksonville.
What is our edge? What is your edge? That thing will help us win games. And that's what this is all about. You guys make this extremely gratifying to be a football coach. And this has been an unbelievable honor to be involved with you guys, to be with you guys throughout this whole process, this whole run, this whole season.
Gives us a shot, potential, or a completion, maybe even a runaway going out of bounds.
First field goal,
I don't know, what
let's
you
try.
think?
First field goal.
Oh, we should still be playing.
Yep.
34 tied up. Who's gonna make a play? First down. Good. Oh, what a great play. That's how you play, bro. That's how you play. One thing I know about this group, fight your asses off. Play your off. And have done nothing but what we've asked you guys to do from the moment we got together. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. Because that's all we can ask for as coaches. So I love you guys. It's been an honor. It's been a journey. And it's a tough one to come down to, but it's where we're at. But a lot of great memories on this season, guys.
Ball's intercepted. Are you kidding me? Devin Lloyd bringing it back again. Touchdown. Devin Lloyd with the length of the field. Pump fake fire.
I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of laughing when he ran it back because I was like, yo, that's the slowest 99-yard run.
Made a man miss 25-yard line, 30-yard line. That's good return for Parker Washington. Still on 350. Touchdown. Parker Washington just brought it all the way back. Scrambles away. He gets hit. He's going to get sacked. Josh has set the franchise career record for sacks. Congratulations to Josh Hines Allen. Scrambling around, looking downfield, still looking downfield, still looking. Now he fires it. That ball is going to be caught by Parker Washington. What a play by Trevor Lawrence. How's that?
A lot of really good stuff.
I'm not crying, Duval T, you're crying.
Oh, man. I love you guys.
Jags on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Jags 3, 1, 2, Jags. Where's my Duval? See, that's why we couldn't get past the wild card. Thank you. All right, man. Yeah, that sucked. I don't know why.
I found that rule though also. And it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty for lifting the player as long as you're behind them. You just can't pull them. That's the problem. You can't be in front pulling them forward. But you can be behind them, pushing them. I mean, now you could be behind them. Even lifting them it used to be a penalty. It used to be a penalty. Yeah, right. Assisting the runner and interlocking interference. No offensive player may pull a runner in any direction at any time. Or no offensive player may push a runner towards the opponent's goal line with the hands, arms, or body within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Right, but the tush push got rid of that. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's the same thing as the tush push. That's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage every single time, and that's not a penalty.
Pushing is, it's different from pulling.
Right, pulling is basically the penalty.
Right, but what we're saying is picking him up and
lifting. That's what I'm saying. Like, where's
lifting?
There's nothing about lifting.
You have the interlocking interference by grasping a teammate or by using his hands or arms to encircle the body of a teammate in an effort to block an opponent. That's the way that it's written. That's the one that people are landing on. You can put your arms around him and put your body in between him and the defenders to block them from tackling him. But there's nothing that talks about lifting. That's the part that sucks. It's just like the way that they wrote it very specifically.
I just want to make sure. I just make sure our coaching staff knows that we're allowed to do that.
Yeah,
because they definitely watch the pod. Daryl says, "I hate that this is over, but we had fun this season. We definitely did." Duval T says, "You can tell the players love him and want to play for him." And then he follows up, "Doug would have never shown this passion." No. So, Travis, I'm going to ask you first.
Hey, Jimbo, hold your head up, Jimbo.
Wait, he says Doug would never show the passion. Did you see Sean McDermott's victory speech? Both last week and this week
it's
after the Jaguars game?
Bland. So
it sounded exactly like Doug. It's bland. Them boys ain't excited. It don't matter. They won.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they won, and that's all that matters. But Travis, let me ask you:
people are just dull.
If you had to put the game on any one or specific thing, who and or what would it be?
Jesus, man.
Jesus, you would put it on Jesus? That is crazy.
I mean,
Jesus saves.
He's in control of everything, right? That's it. No, let me stop. All right.
They go get on you like Drewski.
If you can only name one thing, because again, this was probably the biggest team loss I've seen. Like just most of the team wins, they're gonna have this. This was absolutely a team loss.
A team.
But
if I'm saying,
saying,
so you could say the team. You could say that. That's
but if you really say however you want to split the baby on biggest percentage of the reason for the loss, it sucks. But I'm actually gonna put it on the wide receiver core. And that's a weirder one, I know. But I mean, after we went back and looked at the tape, I'm just like, they didn't just challenge Trevor Lawrence to beat them deep. And to like not continue trying to hit up those dig routes over and over. They challenged the wide receiver core to be on the same page as the quarterback, and very often they weren't. And that was something the Jaguars struggled with early in the season, and you hadn't seen them struggle to this level until this week, because they were trying to figure out whether it was man or whether it was zone. So then that helps them determine whether they should sit it down in the zone or whether they should keep running through. And because of that, Trevor and the receivers often just weren't on the same page. And that's something they got to practice.
You can't have anticipation. Well, anticipate. We talked about it on here before. You want your quarterback to throw in anticipation, but if the receiver's not doing what he probably should be doing, because I would like to think, it could be anybody's fault. It could be the quarterback or the receiver's fault about what page you're supposed to be on. But I tend to go with the receiver's fault, because you got one thing to do, and you probably should have got it right. Like you should know the leverage. I mean, it's hard, but because if you do the right thing and I throw it in anticipation and you do the right thing, it probably is a catch. But if you do the wrong thing, it looks like I just threw the ball completely just straight at that safety.
Right. I don't actually think that the wide receivers are the primary reason that they lost the game, but I really want to say that. I really want to get that off my chest, because I think that's the people that they're getting no smoke.
They're not getting no smoke. Yeah.
Okay. Trevor's it's gonna be all Trevor and no wide receivers, and nothing else. And I want to be honest and say, it's actually not just Trevor making mistakes on that field. It was the Trevor and the wide receiver core together. That operation just wasn't where it needed to be.
Greg Newsome.
No, if you go name somebody in that secondary, you naming Eric Murray.
Oh, Eric Murray. That was a bad.
No.
I didn't go back and watch all, but I know at the game when I saw one of them, I was just like, ugh. It looked. Oh my God, he was late.
So the Brandon Cooks deep ball. That was both Eric Murray and Greg Newsome, but where the ball was thrown and where that ball comes down, if it comes down on the inside of that hash, where your safety is supposed to be your inside help in quarters coverage, you could say it's me and the safety if I'm Greg Newsome, but you absolutely gonna have to name that safety because the ball is where he should have been. Like that's the piece. And then the touchdown play on that looked like it was also Greg Newsome's fault, where it looked like Devin Lloyd started to peel with Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah,
that was also Eric Murray. Like folks didn't notice that one, but he was in the back.
So Eric was supposed to come down.
Eric was he was the hook flat player on the play. So we talked about him. Duval dive on it was cover 3 coverage, and the hook flat player is the one who normally picks up wheel routes in cover 3 because the cornerback's gone. So normally the cornerback's gone with their receiver, and if you have anybody who attacks your flat at that point and you see them wheel up, there's nobody behind you, you go with that as the hook flat player. Well, Eric Murray was the hook flat player, but when they fake the screen, he comes up and he's literally in the backfield. He's over the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So because he's over the line of scrimmage, it's a big void, and it looks like it's Devin Lloyd's fault. But in reality, if Eric Murray is 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he sees Dalton Kincaid coming right at him, and he just follows him, and it's easy to figure out who's at fault. And it's because of the bust and Devin Lloyd trying to help out a little bit because it's a busted play. He's just trying to figure out who to grab somebody, do something.
We gotta get better safety plays.
That's what that was.
I love Dewey, but we have to get better safety play just overall. Both Antonio Johnson, I think, played well this year. Good scheme.
The scheme played back into the strength. Remember, Antonio thrived in a zone in a just base zone defense.
Mike Caldwell's defense. Yep.
Yeah, and then he goes to Ryan Nielsen's defense, who runs a crap ton of man.
Shitty defense. Terrible.
And so he looked bad. I mean, but you and I have said this on the show, like everybody on that defense pretty much looked bad except for Trayvon. Like Trayvon was the only one that no matter what the circumstance was, he was still consistent. Like he had consistent carryover from the year prior. So I actually, Devin kind of said it in the comments, if I had to put it on anyone, I'd put it on coaching. And part of the reason is why I say, bro, like you got to take the points in the playoffs. You got to take the points, man. Like I get the analytics, but at no point did you have a full touchdown lead on Josh Hines.
So when you say coaching, you're talking about offensive coaching specifically.
Well, I am talking about offensive coaching specifically, but there's a couple of different things I would like. Okay, Trayvon. So you saw the tape again, like they've done in other occasions this season. They moved Trayvon on the inside.
Yeah,
Trayvon did his thing on the inside, bro. Like what he was doing to those guards was not a nice thing, and you didn't take advantage of it. Plus, I didn't see any what they call it, NASCAR packages. I really didn't see Dennis Gardeck coming off. You could have kept Trayvon on the edge and then had Dennis Gardeck coming off on like you've done so many other times this season. I just feel like
I would give Campanelli an out because again, this was one of the games where the only reason I told people that we were going to talk about this on the Duval Dive this week was because I'm like, dude, if you're going to talk about personnel and who the Jaguars need to move off of or who the Jaguars need to add or whatever else, then you got to look back at this film. You have to look back at this Buffalo Bills game, the one that they finally lost, the most important game of the season, and tell me who and tell me who was the reason that this coverage was called. Who was the reason that why wasn't Anthony Campanelli moving these defensive backs up to the line of scrimmage and putting them in bump and run? What's the logic here? Like that's where I'm attacking this from, if that makes sense. Like, and that's how I'm attacking this offseason kind of conversation. All right, cool. We know they're great in zone coverage. That's awesome. Well, why were 17 of Josh Allen's 35 pass attempts within less than 4 yards of the line of scrimmage, with 9 of them behind the line of scrimmage? Like that means that if you're allowing it to happen, you don't trust your DBs to move up and bump and run these guys.
And 3 of them picked up first downs. 3 of them picked up first
then
downs.
that you have to ask yourself the question, well, why is that?
Yeah,
and that's the question.
You can't get to the quarterback. So I mean, even if the quarterback's trying to get the ball out fast, but we're not. I guess we get the pressure.
Is that the only reason?
No, I think I think because you don't trust them not to get beat. I mean, I think that's got to be the main reason why he plays off like, hey, we're okay with giving you stuff in front of us as long as we can keep you in front of us. And and
those are theories, right? And those are theories, and that's kind of that's why I'm starting the conversation is saying, all right, cool. If you don't believe that these guys can get into a bump and run situation and where it's just up my man versus your man against that Buffalo Bills wide receiver corps that's not very good, not very deep, and even now they're even more injured. I mean, you got Brandon Cooks. That's the prototypical NFL, as normal as average as average can be, NFL receiver.
Yeah.
And you don't trust your guys to get right in their face and bump and run them, then at that point you're telling me that you need better defensive backs to start the conversation.
Well, yeah,
yes, you need to also get home. Yeah, yes, you need to get home, but you need more guys who can play a little bit more man, or at least on occasion.
Well, we were down 2. I mean, we're down 2. You're down Travis and you're down J. Lou, right? So maybe it looks a little different.
Be real with me though. They rarely played man, even when they had those 2. Let's be honest.
Well, I agree with you.
Look, that's why I said on y'all show, I said Anthony Campanile doing Anthony Campanile things, and I understand he has to do it because
that's what he got.
If you don't do it, they're going to get burnt. They're going to get beat deep. So, but at the same time, I think you just have to, if you're going to do the stuff like do the 0 blitzes that he was doing, sometimes you just got to take that gamble and just go, just say F it and play that.
They didn't want what happened against Cincinnati to happen against the Bills game. So they rather get beat by 1,000 cuts, 17 throws, but less than 4 yards, and just giving those up. versus
but you don't have
Jamar
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think that's where the disconnect with that comes in. But speaking of coming in, let's welcome to the show, Mr. Kyle Nass, student of the game.
Let's go.
Oh wow, that sound.
You are buzzing.
That sound.
Oh, you are buzzing bad.
You are buzzing. Can you hear that? Yeah. We'll bring him back in once he gets that fixed.
You are now in the mix with the man in Teal.
Well, all right, man. You know, I thought I'd ask you this question, bro, because obviously you're also a beat writer for Big Cat Country. And I actually didn't I hear you on the Liam and James Gladstone press conference? Did you ask a question?
I asked a few questions.
I thought that was you. And we're gonna ask you about that. But first, you know, we know that the internet has been aflame with the Lynn Jones of Jacksonville Free Press News and her statements to Liam Cohen after the at the press conference after the Bills loss. You know, some pretty nasty things have come out and people have said about her, but some positive stuff has been said too. You being in the media, like, what is your take? Like, how do you view, like, somebody that's actually in those type of rooms? Like, how do you view that, bro?
As soon as I heard it, I knew exactly how it was going to be viewed in that room. I can tell you that. The room is very particular, and I don't mean that by like the people in the room. I mean that in like a baseball way, where there's a lot of unwritten rules, where you just got to understand that this is the rules of this game.
Inside journalism.
Inside, sort of like inside journalism. Like, that's the best way of saying it. Like, journalism 101, like, for those who have a degree in journalism, like, you legitimately do learn that in school, is you're supposed to be unbiased. You're supposed to not show your fandom in that ways. And obviously that's not what you get a lot of these more recent days with a lot of the new journalism, if that makes sense, because some journalism is biased. And honestly, personally, I don't have a problem with journalism that's biased as long as you let people know that your bias exists. That's clear. That's upfront. But as far as being inside of an organization like NFL, MLB, whatever else, it's more of one of those things where, you don't cheer in the press box. You don't, basically, you don't show your fandom, if that makes sense, when the cameras are rolling. Like, to be real and to be clear, there are very many people in that room who will tell a guy congratulations, who will tell them all those things on the side, and they do weekly. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes. So I can acknowledge that is a thing that is happening, but they just don't do it when the camera's on, to not show a side of unprofessionalism in that way. So from a professional aspect, I do get the complaints, but from a human aspect, you got to learn to shut the hell up. And I mean that for anyone who's trying to be negative publicly, because that is an argument you're never going to win. You're not going to win that public dispute because people are not in that room don't understand the dynamic of that room, if that makes sense.
Right. And I'm going to take it one step further. To a level, I don't even think that they don't understand it. I think they don't care.
Oh.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like they don't care. It's like, especially if you're a Jaguar fan, but other people who are just see one human being kind to another human being in a time where they are obviously downtrodden, right?
Yep.
Yes, the room and the setting may have been the wrong place, but the moment wasn't the wrong time, and I think that's why a lot of people are like, yo, you're outdated. Legacy media is dead. All that, what people are saying, right?
Yeah. But the thing is,
it's feeling factual.
Yeah, but it is what it is. That's the thing. Like, bro, all this tradition, bro, all this, people are like I said, Jimbo, like, bro, I watch Survivor, bro. They going into season 50, right? Bro, people are upset because because Mr. Beast is going to be on there. There's nothing, bro. Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast, bro. Do you understand? Like, he is the person that's going to get this whole next generation possibly hooked on this show that people got hooked on in the year 2000. Like every stuff changes, bro. They don't typically do stuff like that. They're not going into like it's just everything. The shift of all media is changing, bro. It's about integration. It's about getting eyes. This lady just all she did, like I said, even just like I said, the human side of it, bro. Like I feel like I feel like journalism is moving further away from what journalism is intended for. And you have guys who, like I said, went to school for this, and that's a perfectly fine lane of doing exactly that. But you also have people who didn't do it, and they're finding their ways to be just as relevant, just as getting their opinions out just as much. So I think,
and that's where the dichotomy comes in, because if you're someone who went to school for this, and you got people that didn't go to school for this, and I'm not saying that Lynn Jones didn't go to school for this, because Lynn Jones
she is more than qualified,
hella qualified, 40 plus years and interviewed dang everybody.
Yeah, she's more than qualified.
But I'm simply saying that to say I can understand if this was someone who was a general blogger who did this, you might have a leg to stand on. If this was somebody who didn't go to school for this and like legitimately didn't have more credentials than the people complaining about them, you might have a leg to stand on. But it hurts your argument when this is somebody who is as qualified and as credentialed and as has long standing as the different individuals putting out these complaints about her.
Yeah, but you know what inside journalism can't account for? An older black woman seeing what she saw at that goddamn podium, because that was just I'm just telling you, Liam Cole, when he got to that podium, you could tell that he put most of that loss on himself, because he just left from that locker room talking to those guys about it, and he went in there, and you could tell she saw it. We had, the game was over. My mom, she was like, "Oh, I've never heard nothing." She said, "I liked it." And then we got people calling us like, "Man, hey, boy, hey." He said, "Hey, y'all need to listen to the press conference, man." He's like, I couldn't see her, but I could tell it's an older black woman, and she's, keep your head, I said, "Oh yeah," I said, "I gotta hear it now." I said, people ain't gonna like this. I said, but I'm already loving it, and I ain't even heard it yet.
Because you already know what it's gonna sound like.
You already know what it's gonna sound like.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound like it's gonna sound like Big Mama. From every movie.
And look, and because like I said, some people are super hurt about the loss on Sunday. I wasn't even super hurt about the loss on Sunday. Like I was more hurt about that Houston loss, honestly, this season than that loss. And guess what? And the Jaguars can't make me cry no more. They made me cry in, I think, January of 2000 when they couldn't beat the Tennessee Titans for the third time. That's the last time. That's the first and last time I cried about the Jaguars. So I understood, but I know it, the way we walked out of there when that interception happened. Yeah, everybody needed to hear that. And like I said, I think it was just she made it about him, and it kind of was bigger than the moment, I guess. But she did, to me, I feel like she didn't even make it about herself, and people are acting like she made it about herself, and she made it about the coach. And all the people do is go in there. All they do is go ask the coach stupid ass questions. The coach is going to answer the question one way, or he's not going to answer the question one way. Then they're going to ask the question 3 more times. He's going to not give you an answer 3 different ways. So, like, what do we expect? I don't know.
Let's be clear. My personal champion, Travis D. Holmes, did not make an ass of himself asking questions at the interview. So, like, let's be careful about saying all the questions are stupid questions. I got to step up for my guys.
It's not all the questions, but we've heard a plenty of press conference.
Yes.
Where was the accountability for people asking Doug Peterson about ice cream? And just like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. We just lost. We just got our ass kicked. Our quarterback just got brutally attacked with the steel frame elbow brace. And you said, "Well, yeah, I guess we just got to get down." And nobody said nothing. There was no follow up to that. I listen to these press conferences and I understand you have to be, in order to be in that room, you have to have done some stuff to be in that room. But I done heard some completely idiotic questions. There's so many times that I like Bill O'Brien now, But when she first got to 10-10, I didn't ever want her to have a microphone in that locker room.
It's funny to hear that about me of all people, but
I know, but and she got so much better. And I didn't even want to hear her voice because I'm like, I do not like the questions you ask. But who am I?
It's a funny thing.
Yes.
And I'll go out on a limb and be cocky, and I'm going to assume I've been in the most press rooms overall, like through different sports, NBA, college football, bowl games, college basketball, all of it, and even in the past, the Jags room there as well. And there is a unique stiffness in an NFL room of that. Travis has captured the essence beautifully. But I like the part you said, Jay, that she made it about Coach Cohen. Okay. That's the thing that's different now. And I made this point on the Duval Dive earlier this week. I'm about to make this point on the Duval Dive on Friday. That's what I should actually say. But the dynamic between media, journalists, and they were journalists back then in the past, right? There was no such thing as a personality like there is now. That's problem one that people can't handle. There's some personalities that get handed a microphone because of their name that shouldn't have it. Let's be honest. That's a thing that exists. This is not Lynn Jones. Let's lead with that. 2, there was a lot more interpersonal interaction. You would have the opportunity to say something to a coach off to the side. And I get that opportunity when I'm in these college spaces, when I'm in bowl games. I've spoken words to Jamal Mosley of the Orlando Magic. You don't get that with NFL coaches. They're far more protected. So to Lynn's credit, to not only be a chronicler of the event, which she clearly is 4 decades in with actual journalism experience that blows the pants off of anybody who's either that I've seen, who's criticizing her or supporting her, right? The whole concept is she's in that space to take fans to a space they can't get to. And then in this case now, in this day and age, she's speaking on their behalf as well. If she doesn't say it there, the opportunity for the fans to, in a direct way or the most direct way possible, hear that coach or get that, that message to that coach in that way, it's not possible in this day and age. And that's the part that everybody's missing without the context. They see the clip, but they don't know what's going on in there. And frankly, if that's how they want to avoid it happening is in that press conference space, you got to give people more of an opportunity to directly interact with the coaches and such like that. But see, I don't think the NFL is going to do that. And by the way, I love the part that auntie with white hair is getting called new fake media. That's brilliant to me. If I could be that new and relevant in 4 decades from now doing this damn thing, I should be so lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He don't
put his foot in his mouth a few times. I'm tired of it too.
But the problem is that you did the one thing. Well, you didn't do the one thing that any good journalist does. You didn't investigate.
Well, if it was a question,
you didn't investigate. You just tweeted something out real quick.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And you're hey, listen, you're a journalist. You're a reporter. But part of your job is to make sure that you have the facts. And you use social media the way that, like, really it is used to just say a thought, but have heart behind it.
And he committed the cardinal sin of journalism. And I said this to somebody else in the media room on Thursday. Cardinal sin in media is you never become the story. You write the story. You record the story. You never become the story. And you made the mistake of responding, thinking you were punching up to Adam Schefter, and it came across as you were punching down to this African-American woman who had more credentials than you did because you didn't know who she was when you sent it out.
Look, I heard her talking to somebody and say that at one point she was actually employed by the Jaguars. Under Tom Coughlin in the scouting department. So, like I said, without having any context or anything that's going on, this lady, she's not just that. She knows the game. She knows the team. She knows the city. She knows the organization. She's been around. This is as much. She can't. How can you not be biased? Even be a little bit biased or a Jaguar fan if you've been here, if you've been covering this team since the beginning of time.
Well, any team you're covering, you're automatically a fan of because the more they win, the more you get to do cool stuff as a member of the media. So that bias inherently exists.
I almost cursed because that's absolutely not true. I know too many of these guys that also that are absolutely not fans. They just here for that paycheck.
You could tell they're not fans.
And to me sometimes that's even better because if you can, that means you should be as objective as possible because, like I said, I'm going to lean biased. If you're a Jaguar fan and you cover it, you're probably going to lean a little bit biased, but you still have the journalistic integrity to do the job how you're supposed to do the job.
So are they not fans or are they overcompensating to hide it? You never know.
Yeah, I think throughout her career, she's shown that she does the job. She does the job the right way. And like I said, this is the reason why a lot of people because they're like, oh wow, I've never heard that ever at a press conference, which is probably not true because
it's absolutely not true. There's clips coming out all over the place now of other press people doing that. Which, by the way, why aren't we giving Marcus Spears any sort of the same issues by saying, what was he was talking the other day after the Eagles game? Kevin Patullo's ass need to be gone. That's okay. It's okay that LaShawn McCoy, an alleged analyst, his analysis one year was Dak is ass. But we're giving this lady a problem because she's positive. What? No. Man, listen. And the reason why I picked the people that I did, I know people are trying to make this racial. I don't think it's just that. I think it's mostly not that. Again, it's very funny that a lady with white hair is now considered new media. That's fascinating to me, right? This is just people, and I think it was cited of, some people went to school for this, some didn't. It takes a lot of work to get where you get. And the fact that this person was seen to be something well less than she was is the real issue, okay? There are people there that get there without earning it. Obviously, that's a thing. This ain't Lynn Jones for certain. She certainly earned it more than LaShawn McCoy. I say what I said.
Yeah, there's a lot of players who have been given open access to these spaces because they previously played who don't deserve that access. And again, you add the players, you add the different bloggers, you add the different people who are the legacy media then consider quote unquote fake media because they didn't get the credentials, they didn't get the certifications, they didn't get the degree, whatever you want to put around it. And because of that, they deem them different. And I'm just like, I see that, but at the end of the day, you tell me how many people in the media can tell you what coverage this is. Is this cover 6? Is this cover? Is this cover 2? Is this cover 3? Is this tell me do you know what you're watching? Do you know what route this is? Is this a mesh concept? Do you know is this a pin pull block? Tell me what you see on film. Most of the people can't do that either. So I think it's just to Jay's earlier point, the merging of personalities and legacy media versus new media versus bloggers versus just guys who break down film has been fascinating, but it's also become a challenge for some of those legacy guys who only know how to do the interviewing part of the job, or maybe they feel like they're missing some things. And meanwhile, Lynn Jones is out here 40 plus years in the game, interviewing all these big time people, but also having access to these guys in ways that they don't have.
Can I give you a good example of something?
There you go.
Can I give you a good example?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's Hayes Carline, 1010. Like him and Ryan O'Halloran, I think is how you say his last name. They'll do like the Duval rundown or one of those things. If I said Mia's thing, my bad, Mia. I ain't mean to put you on that because what I'm about to say is very, very insulting to them. But to your point,
disclaimer. We have a disclaimer. Travis, at any time you want to go off screen, we don't that valuable press.
Just not to be on this clip that's about to go out. All right, cool. Let me turn the video off. Lord.
Yeah, you want to go off screen.
My face. They already hate me anyway. I'm sure.
But no. Talking about the mixing of modern versus legacy, like when they like they're trying to do the videos, but they look like just old men you know what I'm saying, who don't know how to use a smartphone. The camera angles are they're too. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're not focusing on the right. Yes.
After the game, well, yeah, hacker, Ryan O'Halloran here. Yeah, after the game, man, if you'll back your ass up, bro, get somebody to hold the damn camera for you, bro. Y'all get
a stand or something. Bro. But the fact is like either nobody's telling them or somebody told him. He's like, get off my lawn. I know what I'm doing, kid. You know, and it's like you have to be flexible. I want to end the Lynn Jones thing on this. Like, yes, in the business world, period, there is rules and there's structure. But at the end of the day, though this can't be a thing that happens like all the time, right? Because it's still a job. It's still a job, right? But if it happens every now and then, which newsflash, it does. This just got sensationalized, but it happens every now and then. It's okay. Like, it didn't hurt anything. It was 19 seconds. It didn't ruin any. If anything, it brought more attention to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to the city of Jacksonville, to Liam Cohen,
to the Jacksonville Free Press. Shout out to the Jacksonville Free Press, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Jacksonville Free Press. So
they're getting a lot of notoriety from this. I'll tell you that.
I'm probably gonna cop a hoodie, man. I'm probably gonna cop a hoodie, man.
That wasn't even the intention of it.
Yeah, that's what that lets you know. That's what they on over there right now is not trying to be we're not gonna be left behind because we're one of these people. We've been around for this long and we're part of this kind of community that's been around for this long. We're going to continue to figure out how to evolve and figure out new ways to keep our name alive and get our stuff out, bro. They're evolving where everybody else is turning into dinosaurs, bro. It is what it is.
Listen, no one should have a problem with Lynn Jones doing what she did. I have far less of a problem with Lynn Jones than I do over here, Agent J trying to say he's built by Bulky. Like, come on, what are we doing?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Speaking of bulky, we're not going on a bulky rant, but speaking of bulky.
Oh, I thought you said bulky. After this, like, I'm that fat, Jim? Damn. Go ahead. Sorry.
Looking back on the season, is there any regrets? Is there anything that you're just like, man, if the team would have just did that? Obviously, we can look at the microcosm that is the game that we just had, but overall in the season, Travis, if you could point to anything that maybe if you could turn back the clock and start the season over with, you would do different, what would you do, brother?
Well, I wish the Dallas Cowboys trade for Quentin Williams never went through. I think the Jaguars would have had him. And I think that changed this season drastically. I don't know if that happens, then what does that mean for the Jacoby Myers thing? Like, I don't remember the timeline of how that worked out. Like, I don't know if that was a conversation after the Jacoby Myers trade went through or not. But I know that was rumored to be happening behind the scenes, at least that the Jaguars had a reasonable offer on the table before Dallas just came out of nowhere and made that happen. So I say regret. I don't know about regret because I don't think the Jaguars should have ever. Well, they couldn't give what Dallas gave, but had that been a real possibility without Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones, then yeah, that's the big one I would say. I just wish that would have happened.
I'm shocked.
What about you, Kyle?
I was about to say, I would have thought my personal champion's answer would have been free and clear. The regret for any member of the Duval Devout, I say as somebody who's not a card-carrying member, by the way, how is it not blowing a 19-point fourth quarter lead against Houston?
Because they're the number one seed, then they still may end up playing against Buffalo eventually. You don't know how that's going to work out. Like,
but the winning of a playoff game, you know how many box score watching, hype following, I don't watch the game and get alleged I'm a national analyst. Shouts to Richard Sherman, Travis D. Holmes' new favorite analyst out there in the space. That they get to now go on this ignorant Thank you. You they get to go on these ignorant rants, the Emmanuel Achos of the world. I'll get my guy in there too, sure. You know, the fact that conversation can still happen. And my personal favorite, CJ Stroud has won 3 first-round playoff games, bruh. Okay, it would reduce some of the ignorance out there that we have to withstand as members of the media that actually attempt to do the proper research.
Jay,
shit, winning the AFC South.
That's your regret.
You think they should have lost it? You think they should have lost it like Houston and played against the Steelers? That's good. That's good.
Bro,
Okay,
we would have went up there, bro. Look, I love our chances anytime we go to Pittsburgh. Like, so a playoff game in Pittsburgh? Oh yeah, I know what we're gonna do up there. About to go kill Aaron Rodgers.
But I mean,
and then you'd be going to Denver, which you've already done.
And Houston and Houston mess around and beat the Patriots, and now you got to go. Now Houston got to come here.
Well, Houston would have had to play.
Oh no!
Houston would have played the Bills.
We have to go to Houston.
You would go to Houston.
Yeah, we have to go to
Houston. But
Houston.
Houston would have had to play the Bills, though. Houston would have had to play the Bills.
Yeah, possibly.
And they already beat the Bills. They sacked Josh Allen.
But with Davis Mills.
No, I thought they sacked Josh Allen. They played Davis Mills.
The Houston Texans beat the Buffalo Bills with Davis Mills as quarterback.
I love how you made a poem out of it too, Jimbo. That was tight.
I thought they played with Allen. You're saying they played with Davis Mills.
No,
wait. Davis Mills was quarterback for the Texans. Goodness gracious, yes. Travis. I understand. I'm saying they sacked Josh Allen 8 times. I
understand, but I understand. But the reason why their offense was ahead in that game is because Davis Mills was being efficient. He pulled a Josh Allen. He was.
Kyle. Before we got here,
Davis Mills has been playing better than CJ at this point. But
before you got here, I likened this Houston Texans team to the 2017 Jaguars.
Yeah, not the worst phenomenon I saw in the world. Hey, listen, I love the fact that Josh Allen has given me the opportunity to tell the world that being a game manager shouldn't be a slur against a quarterback. You know,
yeah.
Unless you're Trent Dilfer.
Wow.
So obviously we have pending free agents. Is there anybody, Kyle, I'm gonna ask you first. Is there anybody that you either see Jacksonville re-signing? I want both. That you see Jacksonville re-signing and that you hope Jacksonville re-signs.
I feel like Travis Etienne, and this is my opinion today, I reserve the right to change it with the ever-moving offseason landscape. I feel like Etienne is the guy that kind of fulfills both those questions for me, right? And I think the bigger part of it is Waffle House Willie is doing his thing to pound the table to keep him in the building, right? That's got to be the case, you would think. And with the fact that he's been involved in the offense, even though the run has had its struggles at times, to see the relief that he's provided, Trevor, for the check down game, even when Brenton Strange is out, missing games to injury, whatever, has been remarkable. And in the meantime, sure, I know you got Bashaw Tootin, but folks, the days of the workhorse back are long gone, okay? Even Fred Taylor and Mojo were a committee at one time. A damn fine one for you Jacksonville Jaguars out there, by the way. Let the record show. But, yeah, I think in a world where a committee is still a thing, Etienne, Tootin, and my guy LaQuinn Allen is an excellent one at the right price, of course. But and that's what drives everything. But, yeah, I think Etienne is more destined to return perhaps than, say, I'll throw out a name of Devin Lloyd, perhaps.
Okay. Travis?
All right, so who I want the team to sign? I mean, I know they're limited on money, and I just talked about this on, yesterday on BigCatCountry.com, which the article was titled Money Talks, Jaguars Brass, comments on contract eligible players, and just basically everybody in that presser we were just talking about, that Gladstone and Liam, but were mentioning and what it meant, what they said and what they didn't say. And just based on that information, based on the different rumors that you're hearing, based on the things that's kind of murmurs as far as that's concerned, you got to believe that they want Travis Etienne back. Yes, but it's always going to come down to the price.
Sure,
and the fact of the matter is that they need run. I mean, they've stated on multiple occasions, they need runways for these young guys to play. And they are very limited on cash right now. They just are. They can create more cash by restructuring guys, but they are limited on cash. So I think they're going to have very few of these free agents come back. So when I'm looking at this like, I mean, maybe Greg Newsome. and I say that as a maybe. Like, I don't think they signed very many of these guys. And that includes Travis Etienne. That includes Devin Lloyd. I don't know that they return. I think they've outpriced themselves as it currently stands. Like, that's just where I'm at. So yeah, I'm thinking like Greg Newsome. I think Monteric Brown's even outpriced himself. Like, I heard his rates anywhere from $9 million to $15 million a year. We ain't close.
If he's gonna force their hand to get him, yeah, that'll do it.
Shout out to Buster, man. Game record, man. Shout out to
Buster. What about you, Jay?
Bro, I just think we need to restructure. Maybe sign Etienne. You already know kind of how I feel. I think I like the backups right now, but free agency is gonna be pretty good in general. I mean, there's a lot, bro. You know, Breece Hall. Like, there's a lot of people that's gonna be up, bro. Like, we got to figure out some money somewhere, but also we could still upgrade that position at the same time. If we're gonna spend the money, we could upgrade the position too.
Okay, so all I can say is my want, and I agree with Kyle. I want Travis because I think Travis really is the piece that can make this offense go. In the way that they used them, and we said in the beginning of the year, like, hey, I want to see Travis catch the ball more coming out of the backfield. And he did, and this offense was really dynamic while he did that. So, I felt like they found out too late how to really utilize it, because early they tried to utilize it between him and Travis Hunter in the screen game, and the screen game wasn't working. But then they found other little ways how to deploy him in misdirections and stuff like that. So I just think to have another year, a new year to go in and build upon that, I think Travis is that guy, because other than that, now you have to find somebody else who has that skill set. With that said, we have.
Why is that a fear? Maybe not a fear. Maybe that's not the right verbiage to package that in. But why is that a problem?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's a fear. That's why I said it's my want. It's my want. It's not saying I'm not saying that it is going to happen, but I want that to happen for that reason, because I already know. Hey, you're a piece that fits in this puzzle. I know that. I just saw it. So, but don't we have like 11 or 13 draft picks?
That was 11 or 13. That's a very. We skipped over the 12. All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying I can't remember, but I know it's like in that range.
I got you.
In that,
I honestly don't know how many draft picks they have right now. After this,
I can tell you. Yeah, it's more than 6-7. But my point is, it's like, yeah, we don't have enough. We don't have a lot of money, cap space. Yes, we're going to still have to create some cap space. But to your point, Travis, I think that they're also going to let a lot of these guys walk, unfortunately. And then they're going to try their hand in reloading in the draft, because we have so much draft capital right now. And
go ahead, Jimbo. I thought you were done. My bad.
No, and that's just it. Is I think that's how they're going to try to reload this roster. Obviously they're going to try to flip some of those picks for some higher graded players. But I think you already got your young edges. They Strigow and BJ Green. Obviously interior. I don't want to go into a whole, like, that's a different podcast. But my point is that you have pieces like young players in place right now that they just brought in, And if they can just replicate that in some other key positions, I think with the foundation that we have of signed guys, I think we'd be okay.
And we've talked about the cash that's tied up in players, and I think that's a very legitimate point. It's lesser a threat in this space with the Duval with Jacksonville Jaguars because Jimmy Stones is in the building. Why is Gladstone matter so much? Man, listen, just because somebody's on a contract doesn't mean he ain't trying to move them in the trade at some point. That would be, hey, listen, take this contract and all I'll ask for in return is a 7th round pick. That could happen to Walker Little, for example. I pick a name that I know has a big contract that everybody wants to move off of here, apparently, in this space, right? De'Ami Brown may be another one that fits that. Somebody else may have great use for De'Ami Brown's talents. As it would turn out, thanks to Jacoby Myers, Jacksonville is not among them anymore. And this is a way to actually get some other capital while also freeing some of that cash up to bring in some free agent guys. I'm not saying they can bring them all that with that tactic, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they bring back a Devin Lloyd, a Travis Etienne, and some of these other guys that are there. I don't think it's Greg Newsome, Travis. I got bad news for you.
Well, you bring up James Gladstone, and Travis, you were obviously there. Overall, what did you guys think about the Liam and James Gladstone press conference?
I mean, it was, it was, I mean, a good conversation, at least. Like, for the most part, Liam was ready to allow Gladstone to talk about anything and everything. Like, obviously, for obvious reasons, Liam's been easily accessible for multiple times per week for the entire season. I mean, the season's obviously done. You got Gladstone here who can answer most of these questions. Let the man answer the questions. And Liam seemed like he was ready to go on vacation. Like, I get that. You're exhausted. It's been a long season, man.
It's been a long year.
Yeah. Hey, the meal's been cooked. Why am I still here? I'm the chef. You go talk about buying groceries, Stones.
Yeah, but from Gladstone's perspective, like as always, he was, he was pretty transparent in a lot of the stuff, and a lot of the stuff that he said was right on par. But my biggest takeaway from the presser was basically, hey man, that youth movement's gonna continue. Shocker. Like, that's not much of a shock because that's how they build. They've always told you straight up they were a draft and develop team. But what that means for me is, and what that means for the Duval Devout, the fan base, is y'all got to understand that they are truly at their core a draft and develop team. But what does draft and develop teams do? Like the Rams, they trade for guys for a 7th round draft pick. They rehab those players, and then they let those contracts expire so they can get another draft pick in a year from then on a comp pick. I traded a 7th rounder in 2024, and in 2026, I'm going to get a 3rd round comp pick because that I let that dude go and I didn't re-sign him. It doesn't matter how good he played. This is just a transaction to help me this year for nothing, and then I'm going to like double in. So if they're willing to do that with those players on those rosters, that's probably going to be the route for this roster. They had so many picks. They trade for players. They see what happens. From that perspective, I see someone like a Greg Newsome probably not being re-signed because that could equal a comp pick of a 6th rounder, 7th rounder, 5th rounder, depending on what he signs in free agency and how many free agents they sign. And that's why I don't think that they're necessarily going to be very active in the free agent market as far as that's concerned. Like, I'm just reading the landscape of what they say because for the most part, what they say has been mirrored by what they do.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna keep. I'm just going to believe them until they show me I shouldn't. And the one of the best questions that I thought came out of the presser was just asking Gladstone about the fact that, hey man, how is this going to be different than it was in 2024 as far as your process, as far as your scouts, as far as all of that, just because you actually have the full season. And that was asked from this guy from Big Cat Country, Travis Holmes. He was asking James about that.
Right, Trap? No, I'm kidding.
Nah. Well, because it was funny because I was shocked that nobody had asked it. Normally, and just if you would ever listen to the pressers, you'll hear it. Normally, I don't ask questions until close to the end because everybody got like the same questions. Let's be real. Most of the questions are the same general questions. So if I get to the end of that list, check it out. Nobody's asked this question. I'm getting it in. And that was the one. It was just like, dude, he's a first-year GM, and it's his first full offseason with his own scouts and his own process. He's now added the JARS program from the Rams. That was their scouting process, their scouting system, and their way of the documenting everything and organizing everything, placing a hierarchy on injuries and all of this other stuff. That's how they organize all that. They didn't have that last year. He was trying to explain to the scouts kind of what they should prioritize and how to look at these guys on the fly a week before the combine. A week before the that's craziness, right? This is an actual full off season. So Gladstone said, hey man, we actually have our processes implemented. We have our scouts, we're kind of all on the same page, and now I'll be able to see this I forgot how he phrased it, but basically I'll be able to see this kind of come to fruition. So this is what a James Gladstone offseason should really look like. So maybe we'll see a better draft class, maybe even with less injuries this upcoming season. That was my big takeaway.
How much of that orientation that you're talking about, Travis, was just telling the scouts that were there, hey, we don't care about his wingspan, okay?
I mean, that probably be a good start, at least.
Well, with what was said, and I want everybody to kind of weigh in on this. Do you have any faith that this regime can run it back or even go further? With the things that we know coming up, knowing that we don't have that much cap space, knowing that we're going to have probably an exodus of free agents, probably knowing that probably won't be that active in the free agency market, and that we're probably going to be relying on a bunch of second year, couple third year guys, and then a bunch of rookies.
Well, I think some of the evidence is already there, right? You're talking about faith, and I appreciate the use of that term. I think it's more calculated risk. Something that they've shown they'll do quick, Jimbo, is move off of a mistake. Now, here's the thing. You look through this draft class, and you don't see a lot of mistakes. You see some injuries that unfortunately make it cloudy, perhaps. But I don't know that there's a draft pick that's a mistake that's on the roster yet, confirmed, right? Maybe some free agencies didn't go the way you want. Fred Johnson, all that. Cool, that's fine. Whatever. But if you can nail the bottom half of the draft like that at all, you're already ahead of the game. If you do half as well to continue to augment this group into a first place schedule, and some of the injured people pan the way you'd like to, Ransaw, Hunter, guys of that ilk, I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility you see somebody. I'm not saying 13 wins again. Let's not get stupid, but certainly the concept of a repeat AFC South championship isn't out of the realm of possibility. It's certainly on the board, right?
Okay. Jay, what you think, Jay? You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, brother.
Bro, yeah, we can run that, bro. We got the quarterback, bro. I don't care, bro. We got the quarterback.
There's something to that.
Hey, I honestly, as long as the quarterback and the head coach is on the same page, let's continue to get deeper and deeper into this playbook. Trevor Lawrence is dealing with an actual head football coach for the first time in his life, bro. I'm tired of him having to deal with people whose offense it's not their offense.
It's crowned by their past achievement is the reason they're there, right? Urban Meyer was there for a national championship. Doug Peterson was there because he wrote a book in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, when Doug Peterson came here, you're running an offense that's not your offense. Mm-hmm. So it don't matter. It's going to get stagnant at some point. Teams are going to figure it out, and you're not doing the little things that you're not even paying attention to your quarterback. The first thing Liam Cohen says when he got in, hey, your footwork. You need to start. You telling me Liam Cohen, he's just the smartest man in the world, and was like, hey, maybe you should do that? No, pay attention to your quarterback. See what's going on out there. Put some effort into your damn job as the head coach, and you're especially supposed to be the play caller. Let
me add this to your point, Jay, because you say that. I've sat in press rooms where Trevor Lawrence told us the mistakes he had made in games, where the issue was his footwork. Yeah. And now Liam Cohen is what has to arrive to fix it. Saying.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Travis?
Wait, sorry. What was the question? No, I was with you for a second.
Do you have faith
I
in this
was with
regime
you for a second, but I've been over here doing something that I'm gonna tell you in a second. That's why it's important. I want to make sure I answer the right question.
Okay.
I mean, I think the easy answer is yes, obviously, but the more nuanced answer is really maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I believe that to be the case, but I've also this is the first time where I can objectively say the Jacksonville Jaguars might be stepping off some actual good players, maybe even like above average to great players, and we'll have an opportunity to truly be like, all right, cool. This isn't a situation where you're moving on from Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk and to see them go over and be injured on other rosters. This is a situation where you're truly having a legitimate conversation about potentially moving off of a Travis Etienne, who, you know, is a Pro Bowl caliber talent, and a Devin Lloyd, an all-pro talent, at least most recently, where you're going to have to draft guys who are better than that or equal to that and for cheaper. I do believe that they will be able to do it, and I do believe that they'll be bold. But also, when you are bold, sometimes you're going to miss. You can't expect these guys to bat 100% or 1,000%. Sorry. So if they miss, and that's one of the misses, I hope fans are okay with that. Like, that's going to be the real interesting piece of this conversation, because I want to have realistic expectations, and that's part of that equation. Could this be where the Jaguars let one of those guys go and they end up having, I don't know, 2-3 all-pro seasons or 1-2 all-pro seasons, and the Jaguars are still winning? Everybody happy, but the guy that they drafted didn't work out because fill in the blank reason. Injury. It may not even be skill, just like injury or something like that. Like that's a real possibility, and folks might have to just bite that bullet.
Because they wasted a few years here, bro. I mean, it sucks to say. They had a couple seasons. A lot of those players had seasons wasted just by incompetence around them. So it is what it is. They flash now, and it's like, well, shit, we can't. We thought he was gonna be good. We didn't think he was gonna have 6 interceptions. Like, God damn. So I mean,
I just wanted to put it out there on the off chance that Devin Lloyd continue. Let's say he had like 3 more seasons where he had 4 or 5 interceptions. Folks gonna be like, damn, how the hell we let that? But just you know, all that. Like,
look, we let Darryl Smith go. I remember we let Darryl Smith go, and he became all pro for the next 2 seasons with the Ravens. I said, oh my God, I was sick.
But to the earlier point, like, as long as you have the quarterback right, and I believe they do, and as long as you have the offensive coordinator right, in this case the head coach, which is also a great leader of the locker room, like, I think then you will probably be fine. And if they truly do lean in on like adding to that defense, as I expect them to this offseason, whether through the draft or through like those depth roles on defense in the free agency, then I believe that they probably will be able to make this roster like what they want it to truly be, because as it currently stands, I do believe it's just been, again, I think I said it earlier, like duct tape, Elmer screws stapled together, kind of just making this thing happen with personnel limitations. So maybe you can make this thing look better than it currently looks from how they want to run things.
So what I hear you saying is you still need to handle 2 different offensive line spots to make sure all those things you labeled having are still worthwhile having.
That's a start. Well, I won't even say adding the offensive lineman, because the development is a thing. And if they truly, like, we can't treat this like this is Doug Peterson's, Trent Baalke's, and Jacksonville Jaguars. We treat this like they draft and develop. Well, they drafted. These guys weren't who we thought they were going to be in year one. Like, Wyatt Milam barely played. Jonah Monheim played a little bit, and Nashville looked reasonably solid. But, like, to be clear, they haven't developed in the ways that we thought they were going to develop yet. That don't mean that they won't develop next year after a year in the offseason program or 2 years from now. Like, so they seem to be those kind of guys who are truly going to continue pushing these guys to be better than they were. Maybe they will be. I mean, we've seen that with other people on the roster who we thought were dead and gone, and now they are balling out of control. So let's just give them time and see what happens.
Yeah, so I got to see it. I've been let down by this Jaguar team, you know, for long, not only for long stretches, but then we have something good and you think you're able to carry it over to the next year. I do have hope, and the O in J&B.O is optimistic. So of course I'm optimistic that that the Jags will be able to run it back. But the reality is you know, you don't know if Campanelli's going to be here next year. You don't know if Grant Diskey's going to be here next year. You don't know, certain people on our staff may get poached.
If they,
you know, and that's just the nature.
If them boys is smart, they stay their ass here and work this shit out, because we ain't did nothing. In the grand scheme, we ain't did nothing.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's been 1 year, and we it's not like we, you know what I'm saying? I understand.
So this is interesting though, like, because if you are Grant Udinski and you truly got a job opportunity right now with the Cleveland Browns, I mean, that's just the name that's on the list as it currently stands as far as the interviews are concerned. You mean to tell me you would stay as an offensive coordinator as young as he is, with the opportunity that even if he did, let's say even if he did like flame out and not be successful in this role, you don't think that dude wouldn't get another opportunity within, I don't know, 3-4 years from that Sean McVay tree? Like, look at the OC Nick Caley in Houston when they were talking about firing him, and he still could get fired. Who the hell knows? You think that dude wouldn't get another OC opportunity within the next 5 years, even if he got fired, just because he's that young?
Yeah, of course he would.
I mean, yeah, I think he would, but I think also if you truly believe that you can help bring this offense to even more glory, it probably sets up better for you for maybe a little bit more sustained success once you leave and try to be a head coach, because you're gonna have more quills in your feather. You're just gonna have more arrows for you, bro. Because everybody's learning, and you're learning all together. They're learning defense with Campanelli. I think them all staying together, I think, helps everybody out in order for them to separate. And you know, I mean, to me, I don't have a fear of. I think because Liam is Liam's offense and he calls the plays, I don't have the same fears if he left as when Doug Peterson was here and you lost Jim Bob Cooter or you lost Mike McCoy, and certain things from your offense completely
disappeared with them. Yeah.
With those guys.
I would even argue Campanelli leaving is more scary than Udinski.
Yes.
Keep it local, 100%. I'm with you on that, Jay. And let me add this too. Everything you said about them learning and capturing that synergy, that brain trust, that evolution in that room is an excellent point. I don't know what amount of money there is, Jay, that makes going to a place that's still hamstrung by Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry, are we allowed to say that name out loud here? There's
no masseuses here.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah,
and that losing.
That's saying R. Kelly. You good?
But to go from being tied to having your best shot at quarterback is Shedeur Sanders right now. Your salary cap situation is still stuck to D-Dub. And oh, by the way, it's a culture that has a huge history of losing in beyond mediocrity. Is what amount of money could they possibly give you that's a better opportunity that actually makes it worthwhile for you than just staying right here?
Hey, when you're in the NBA, you can if you're in college for basketball, you can leave after 1 year, or you could gather your skills.
Yeah,
but
there's only 32 jobs.
I'm sitting there like this is not a hard conversation for me.
Yeah,
this is
only 32.
Easy.
There's only 32 jobs. Like look, where for the company I work for, there's only one branch manager. There's only one regional. There's only one. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how good I fit right here, especially if this is a career, in anything that's a career, you want to move up. So if you get that opportunity, I wouldn't even blame him for taking it.
Oh, of course not.
I wouldn't even blame him for, but I do agree with the general consensus that, you know, it would probably be better if he stayed. But at the same time, if he got the opportunity and it was real, you'd be dumb to not take it, in my opinion.
So you say the general consensus, and I'd hate to be the contrarian. I hate to always be the guy who would push back, but I am in this situation.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't. But I think like it's my status quo. I'm always thinking like that. I'm always like this, unfortunately. And my mind immediately goes to Byron Leftwich. Like my mind immediately goes to, nah, man, there's an every year situation where something just don't go right. The quarterback gets hurt, the center gets hurt, and it just the offense don't work the same, or whatever happens. And the next season, a guy who was at the top of the list the previous season is nowhere to be found. He's not even getting phone calls, he's not getting interviews to be in the coaching ranks, and it takes him 3, 4, 5 years to get back where he was when the striking when the iron is hot kind of situation. And because of something like that, I'm like, nah, man. Now, if you have that opportunity sitting in front of your face with money sitting in, like this is a mob scene, and you got the open bag, the open suitcase of $10 million just sitting right in your face, and you're just like, hey, man, the signing bonus, you want it? Like, nah.
It gave me the Tom Cable defense. He was able to leverage a bad job with the Raiders to having a pretty good tenure in Minnesota. I get it, but specific to Udinski and the Browns, I feel like that's something that would be an albatross around your neck to keep you from getting a job ever again, depending on how that goes, because you were associated with that stink. That's different, in my opinion.
Maybe. I mean, I don't necessarily know if I agree or disagree. Like, honestly,
No, you froze. I think you froze.
I was back.
No?
Yeah.
No, you back.
Yeah, I froze.
No, you're good. You're back. You're back. But yeah, I don't know what it would be up there for. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know what kind of head coach he would be, because that wasn't his role here.
Maybe
in his role, in his capacity, I thought he was great in his role and in his capacity. Can that translate to? Can you do that to a whole team? I don't know if he could do that, but. Again, just as somebody who is also on a career path, regardless, to what Travis just said, you may not get another chance. The next season might not go as well. I don't think that this staff will have that problem if that happens. Like, in other words, like if the next season doesn't go that well, I don't see Liam Cohen saying, Grant, you're fired. I don't see that happening. Like you see some of these other places.
But it doesn't have to be that he's fired. It can simply be, hey, Grant, you're not you're not going to be looked upon favorably on the rest of the NFL to get these head coaching opportunities because our offense took a step back, despite the fact that you don't even call the plays. It can just be the ick that is on you by proxy of just however the offense produces. Like, again, when you get those interviews, you get those interviews.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know if this is your one and only chance to do it.
You talk about calculated risk. And then it's both. What you go?
So,
you got a decision to make, and I just think the smart thing to do, and it might not be the best thing to do, but I think the smart thing to do for both of the people on staff is to stay put and build upon your resume, because it's not even like it's especially like putting all that stress on. Man, I wouldn't even be interviewing. Bro, I'm trying to lock.
As someone who has never had millions of dollars, for them to be offered multiple millions of dollars, and I can't tell you if it's 10 million. I don't know what these guys.
Money is the root, man. You better find something. They better find something safe. They better find something safe. Play with it. Figure out what's going on, and then go get that money. But they just jumping out there. I'm just saying, like we see it, man. We see that. Hey, I would rather. Sometimes you got to go down with the ship if when it's time. And if your mind is as brilliant as they say it is, then it shouldn't. Then that shouldn't be held. Then it shouldn't be held against them. I think you need to. I think you also have to understand that he's been up close and personal with Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
You got your hands on something too. Like I said, I believe in the quarterback. And I think a lot of that has to do with the people that are going to be around him, because I've seen people put into him for the first time in his fifth. It took him to his fifth year in his career for this to get poured into him, and I think they see that too. And I think they see, okay, this should continue to go up.
So can I ask this question then? Because this feels like we're talking about both of these guys the same as if they are in similar situations, and they definitely are not.
No,
all right. So what I mean by that is you got Campanelli who controls his fate. You got Campanelli who calls the plays, who puts together this defense, and it's truly in his hands on whatever's going to happen. So if he wants to quote unquote bet on himself, he is truly betting on his production and the calls that he makes.
In a year where there's 9 or 10 openings, by the way, it ain't always like that.
Right. Yeah. And then you have Grant Udinski, who does not call plays, who does, again, he does do the planning for the offense. He does spend the majority of the week with these guys organizing and everything else. But that is a different conversation, right? So like at that point, I'm not betting on myself. I'm betting on the production. I'm betting on my contributions, and that it's going to work out with the rest of these guys, and that everything's going to work out next year, that it's going to work out in my favor. These aren't equal situations where I'm talking about taking that risk. It's
no, definitely not. Not for, but even for Camp. I mean, and like, I don't know. From what I've heard from him, I don't think he's satisfied of what his defense put on, all of what his defense put out there.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing too, we keep talking opportunity. I think what's unique to Camp being a defensive coach with an opportunity, there's that stigma against the defensive head coach, right?
Facts.
That's a whole thing that, again, I think augments the opportunity. 9 teams in the market, or is it 10? No, it's not anymore because Harbaugh's hired, right? But having that defensive stigma, at least Udinski down the line being an offensive guy, if he gets to that point where he wants to prove himself as a guy calling the plays, somebody desperate will always come out. There's at least 6 teams a year. He'll get his shot. I feel like Camp, it may not go that way. And I know you make the point about Byron Leftwich. I think that's relevant too, that offensive guys can strike out as well. But I think that nuance, especially for defensive versus offensive guys, even compared to that period of time when Peterson was brought in Jacksonville, is a whole other dynamic that would need to be considered in the decision that they make.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Marcus. And he says to you, Jay, was money the root for Liam? He did the same thing. Though it's not the same. Now back to what Travis just said earlier, Big Marcus, so you understand. It's really not, because Liam called the plays in Tampa.
Yeah.
And Grant is a helper in this, even though in name he's a OC.
And you're getting handed Trevor Lawrence.
Correct.
Like you're not getting handed, like I said, Deshaun Watson and I love Shador, but that's not the situation,
right?
So right, I mean, Grant Udinski's situation is Brian Callahan, basically,
right?
When he left Cincinnati with never calling plays, and went to Tennessee Titans and tried to call plays. It's not to say it can't happen, it can't work. It's to say you don't have proof of concept and you hope that it's going to work. But I guess that's actually a very apt comparison. And sorry, I thought about it on the fly, and now I'm saying
that was a good one. That was a good one.
He blew his own mind, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
Shout out Connor, man. Said, "What's up, fellas?"
In my team's the army, the Navy, the greatest is Jimmy and Keenan, the ultimate package. Ooh.
All right, man. We're finna wrap this up, man. We only got 2 more things. Are we rooting for any team left in the playoffs?
I mean, I feel I need to get this out the way. You all know.
I know.
You all know I'm the faithful now. Come on.
Go ahead. So we got the Niners.
They're going to get their faces beaten because they're too banged up already, and the Seahawks do not play. We've seen this as having covered the Jags when they did battle with them earlier this season.
That's tough. That George Kittle is tough.
Yeah, it's been tough all year.
I mean, I'm about to say they're all broken up. The defense is beat to hell.
Bro, you watched the Jags-Niners game. They were queuing up at the damn injury tent. Okay, that was the thing, dude. And it's gotten worse since then. To your point, yeah, it's a mess. And listen, for all the questions I had about Brock Purdy, another guy who missed time due to injury too. Am I right? You know, him having 2 5-touchdown games, one of them against the seemingly ultra hot Bears at the moment, is something I would have never had on my bingo card, so he deserves his props as well there too. But yeah, Seattle's just a tough team, dude. I would rather the Niners see the Rams because at least there's a stigma in the Rams' head that they're a team that just gets beat a lot by the Niners because reasons, you know.
Right.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Travis, you got it. Are you rooting for anybody?
I feel like this season needs to end because I don't want nobody to win. And that's where this really sucks, man, because I'm kind of like, I guess the Bills, just because I think it makes people in Duval feel better.
It makes people in Duval feel better that they lost to the team that was eventually the champions.
Exactly.
See, this is how you know we got chemistry. I could finish this point for him. And I think the other piece to that, too, is does anybody else want to hear Josh Allen and that criticism for the rest of their dang lives? Oh, he missed a big one. I'm over that talking point. But, yeah, go ahead, Travis. I tried to fill
you called it. You called it right. You called it right when I put it down.
How I feel is I want Josh Allen to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and then I want them to lose, and then I want Michael B. Jordan to pop up and just start laughing and dancing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
that is crazy, dog.
Did you see Sinners?
I saw Sinners. I'm just like, wait, that came out of left field for me though. But all right.
Yeah, because I forgot he was married or engaged to that lady, and I didn't say anything at the game. I sit above the visiting tunnel for a specific reason, and so I can say things that are not 100% across the line, but pretty much across the line, and I can say it to them right above them, and they have no choice but to stand there and listen to it
and smile.
Wow.
And I forgot, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot he married to that lady.
Wow.
So yeah.
So I'm assuming maybe the Bills just.
And I want them to lose, so they'll lose 5. Now it's five appearances and 5 losses.
But I don't think that's a very good roster, and I think even Bills fans would agree that that's probably one of the worst Bills rosters that they've had lately.
Yeah, let it be.
But
let it be Bills.
If I got to root for them, I got to root for them.
Let it be Bills Seahawks. Let me Bills Seahawks or something, man.
All into the chaos. Look at this.
Yeah, man, something crazy.
Yeah,
I don't care about you.
I'd say Bills. I'd say Bills.
Lost. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out. I don't have any.
I'm saying Bills just because of actually what Travis said. It's just gonna make me feel better about this loss. Like at least we got beat by the AFC team that got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or if they win one, they win one. Whatever.
Anybody but Houston, because they'll be super
they're gonna be annoying. They're gonna be so damn annoying. Just
you ain't gonna be shoot as the non-card carrying guy.
Yeah, they are annoying. They are annoying because they beat behind Pittsburgh. Talking all the I'm like, oh Lord.
Houston Patriots. Okay, so Houston Patriots, and it's gotta be it's gotta be the Bills for me because I don't want to hear Patriot fans. We're back.
Somebody wearing red, white, and blue needs to step their game up, except for maybe the Orange Crush, right? Is that it? Anyways.
And
I
don't know, bro. I just and I don't want the Bears to win.
I'm not mad at the Bears winning.
It's personal. It's personal with me, man. I just don't. I don't want the Bears. I don't want Ben Johnson to get there. I don't want Ben Johnson to get there before Liam. I don't want Caleb to get there before Trevor. You know what I'm saying? I don't want none of that. Like, matter of fact, my dream Super Bowl this year would have been Jags versus the Bears. I think that would have been hella dope. But
what if you find out Caleb's a cat person, Jimbo? Then what?
Well, he loves cats, so
yeah, but that don't matter. I don't like people, so it doesn't matter.
And I'm a Matt LaFleur guy, so I already don't want the Bears to win just for that sake. So yeah.
So last thing, real quick, man. I just want to get y'all thoughts. Adrian Foster. I had it right. Arian Foster.
Which is crazy because why would you give your child that?
Arian, I know. But anyway,
who would foster the name Arian? No, I follow you.
He was on a podcast and they were having a conversation, and he was saying that he doesn't feel like QBs should get yak yards. So he should, obviously they have air yards, right? So he feels like if the quarterback he throws the ball, and if he only throws the ball 2 yards, he should only get 2 yards on the pass. And if you know the receiver goes 50, the receiver gets 52 yards on his stat line, but the QB does not get the 52. He only gets however far the ball travels.
I've heard this question posed before, and let me tell you why I think it's ridiculous. Because first
what
of all,
do you guys think? Yes,
it's spoken like a true running back here, and no disrespect to Foster. I think he was a good player and all that other stuff. This is why that take is ignorant, in my opinion. What is the most important thing for a receiver to get yak on a pass?
Ball placement.
Damn straight. Where does that start, folks? Because it ain't the receiver placing the humpy bumpy. Quarterback has his role too.
Yeah.
I've seen quarterbacks miss those little 2-yard wide inside pick six.
Hospital ball.
You got to get it. You got to get it there.
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose of this. This is a fantasy football.
That's because running backs always want to downplay what I've been seeing. These retired running backs, him, Shady, they just shade quarterbacks because they're getting the money. They got the CTE, and those guys have got the money.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm not going to speak on Shady because I'm going to get in trouble, and you know, I'm a peaceful man, but. But I said,
bro, he is a hater.
Yo, he is. He is a hating. I fucking hate him. I hate him.
He's an internet troll. He is an internet troll with the podcast. That's what it is.
I hate you with a passion, bro. If you
just enough about Ryan Clark.
Oh my god.
He is a Doug Peterson. He's a Doug Peterson gargling, hating ass bitch. That's all, bro. That's it, bro. I think the craziest thing is like he refuses to believe that Doug Peterson couldn't have done anything wrong. He says, "Man, Trevor Lawrence trash." He don't. When Bucky Brooks went on that show last year.
Oh, so disrespectful. So disrespectful.
It was so disrespectful how they did Bucky Brooks on that damn show. He's trying to talk and explain and go into because Bucky's around the team. He understands. He just over talked him, shut him down. Just no, he's trash. He's trash. Look at this. He's Daniel Jones. Look at all the interceptions. You got Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl. If you don't, I felt so disrespected that they did that to Bucky. And ever since then, it's just like. Bro,
yeah.
I don't know. I hate that I have to that it pops up in my algorithm. And I liked him as a player because he played.
And Bucky's not the type of guy who's going to overtalk you. Like he's not. He's professional.
You did it to Bucky. Oh man!
See, Bucky's smart enough to hand Shady enough rope to let him hang himself and look like the fool. It's okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's actually fair. He's the DB. That makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
But I don't make him intelligent. Not that part.
No, it doesn't.
I said on the socials, I would actually be okay with that, but only if they put interceptions. They took the interceptions away from QBs and who the ball hits.
Oh, I like that.
If the ball hits you in the hands and you don't catch the ball and you cause an interception because you did not catch the ball or you pop the ball up in the air or something like that, that interception should not go on the QB. It should go on the receiver. I would gladly trade that.
It's a good
running backs don't want the smoke. Yeah. Running backs don't want the smoke that I didn't have for them because I would give them that agreement that no, all right, cool. The yak goes to the wide receiver. The yards, the air yards go to the quarterback. Cool. Then yards before contact goes to the offensive line, and yards after contact go to the running back. Let's talk about it. Would you be willing to do that, Mr. Running Back? Hell no.
Yeah, that 80-yard touchdown where nobody touched you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's your old line, ain't you?
That's your old line. You don't get nothing. You get a touchdown.
I tossed my vote in. He's outvoted. Let's do this. Let me show my credentials again, gentlemen. There you go.
Yeah, but I think those are two fine amendments. That's a good bargain. That's a good bargain.
Yeah, bro. So I think if we can make those trade-offs, I'd be okay with that stuff. But Gentlemen, Kyle, even though you got here late, man, thank you so much for joining us. Travis, you're his champion, but
personal champion. That's right.
But you're loved by the city, bro. Big Cat Country. Hey, if y'all don't check out the Duval Dive, you gotta go to their YouTube. Check out their Twitter account, because listen, they are full-grown adults with families, and they don't do X.
That's right. This guy gets
So, hey, fellas, if you have anything to plug, please let the people know what you guys got coming up.
I mean, listen, I'll get it out the way first. Honor, joy, and privilege, gentlemen. The student of the game is what I do as Kyle Nash. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky at the SOTG. Student of the game on Facebook. Check out also my writings on UCF football and basketball in the Black and Gold Banneret.com and the Night Shift podcast, as well as my coverage of the Orlando Magic, and most importantly, your Jacksonville Jaguars with the Duval Dive on the Believe Podcast Network. Gentlemen, always fun. Thank you for your grace in dealing with my inability to read a bleeping clock. Until next time, everyone, class dismissed.
Travis.
Yes, I mean, we already talked about it. You can find my writing covering the Jaguars, BigCatCountry.com, and I'm on all the socials, Travis D. Holmes. I mean, as Jimbo J already mentioned, hey, the Duval Dive podcast, and Nash already mentioned, Duval Dive podcast on X, on TikTok. I mean, just follow us on YouTube or on wherever you podcast, whether that's Apple, Spotify. That we get paid from that too. So just click the link. You ain't even gotta listen to it. Put it on for your baby at night, and just let it play. Just click the link, click the like button. We appreciate you.
The sultry tones of Travis T. Holmes to rest your baby.
Yes,
that's it.
Also, part of the Believe Network, which Bucky is a part of. So shout out to these guys, right?
Yes. Bucky friend of the pod. Yeah, he's been on.
Say, you should, if you haven't yet, check out Bucky Brooks talking with Travis D. Holmes earlier this year or last year. That's right.
Yeah, man. And definitely appreciate everybody in the chat. And with that said, that is your host, Agent J, and y'all are rocking with your boy J to the I to the M-B-O. And we are out of here. Bye.